This version of It's Erik Nagel has been modified from its original broadcast. Content has been edited to fit this platform.
Believe none of what you hear and half of what you see.
Are you ready? I said, are you ready?
It's Erik Nagel. And it starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen of the universe, the next voice you hear, it's Erik Nagel.
And thank you, Scott Shannon. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I am Erik Nagel, and over there, say hello to Jordan.
Hey, everybody.
He's got new lights. He's feeling good about himself. His studio's starting to come together.
Just in time for Erik to replace me with a new co-host.
That's usually about that time. They have an expiration date of about 2 years. So
I was going to say, I think I'm starting year 3, so I think I'm already too long in the tooth to be hanging out with Erik.
I mean, you got to beat Gittle's record of 9 years, but...
Yeah, I mean, he had some built-in time, so...
We shall see.
We'll get there.
And, of course, you know, it's 17 degrees here in the New York City area, and it's 95 by Jordan, so that's considered sweater weather. If you're listening on the iHeartRadio... Oh, flip it over here for a second. If we're listening on the iHeartRadio app, thank you very much for doing so. If you're listening to us at your own convenience, Apple, Spotify, one of those places, do us a kindness. Go over there, leave us a positive review. It does help out this program. And if you're joining us live, feel free to do so. Throw your money around like the big holiday spender that you are in our YouTube and in our Twitch rooms, all under It's Erik Nagel. You can do all that fun stuff. And if you're just watching the video, again, at your own convenience, do us a kindness if you haven't already. Hit a like on this video. Hit subscribe to the channel. All of that does help out the program.
I do want to bring up something real quick here. We've got an ad early, a comment early on from Cracker Barrel Kid 52. Ads are unbearable on
Great
Twitch.
Name.
It's perfect. Yes.
Fantastic.
You know how you get rid of the ads on Twitch? You use that free subscription from Amazon Prime.
Yes.
And just go ahead and subscribe on Twitch. Just get it out of the way so you don't have to deal with the ads. But I appreciate you listening on both.
If you're one of those people that doesn't have an account and you go to the page and you're not signed in, that's your fault. There's nothing we can do about that. But
right.
If you have a Twitch account, you can have the account and not be streaming on there. Maybe you're not a gamer. Maybe you're not doing something like this. You just have the account to watch people. That's fine. You could spend your money and subscribe to those people on Twitch who put out the content that you enjoy. Or like Jordan said, the Amazon Prime subscription that you have gives you a month for free. You have to reset it at the top of every month, but you can pick and choose. If you like this streamer, hit it on that person. If you want to switch it over to this person over there, that's fine. But when it comes to this show, you have no choice. So once you're here, you have to do it every month. There are no exceptions of going anywhere else.
It's true.
There you go. Cracker Barrel Kid 52. Jordan with the plug. Very much so. And hello to the, I think, how far is Idaho from you?
It's north of us by 2 states. So above us is, I believe,
all right,
Utah.
It's out in the middle of the nowhere like you guys
Utah
are.
doesn't matter. So skip Utah, fly over, use Utah as a flyover state, and I believe that's where Idaho.
All right. Well, say hello to Miss Bill, a new listener, new fan to the program. And there's our pal Jay Shep. It's 76 here in Texas.
That's wonderful weather.
I know. It's been, nobody cares about weather, but it's been nonsense. The other day, it was 61 degrees. I was like, all right, it's fine. That night was 36. And then it's just been fucking tundra ever since. I'm walking around singing, I'm Mr. White Christmas, I'm Mr. Snow. I haven't seen that, actually. I've been seeing the ads for, they've been running Rudolph and Frosty and... I think there was a Garfield Christmas special. You remember how everybody used to have a Christmas special, animated special?
Yeah, the old Rankin and Bass and all that stuff. That used to be out like
they have the old fashioned ones, but I don't see anything new. Like they're not advertising any new properties for right. The misers, the heat miser and coal miser. What is that special called?
I forget. It was part of. I know it was Rankin and Bass, but it wasn't. I don't believe it was a.
I can't think of it. Point being, I haven't seen it show up anywhere. It's not advertised anywhere. They're advertising the F out of Rudolph since they did the tree lighting at Rockefeller Center.
It was the year without Santa Claus, 1974.
That's it. Yes. Fantastic. It's better than all the others. If you can find it somewhere, give it a watch if you haven't, or if it's been a long time. Go rekindle your childhood and enjoy that.
Right. I've seen that forever, and I've got the little box set which got them all on there, so I just probably need to do a I need to do a watch. That would be good. Good for the kids.
I didn't know there was a box set for that. I'll have to go.
You can buy a box set. It's got the Rudolph. It's got the this year with that Santa Claus. It's got all the Rankin and Bass like claymation animation ones all together.
They were just as bad as Sid and Marty Krofft stuff, but for some reason they're remembered more fondly than like the Banana Splits, you know, and Sigmund the Sea Monster. That terrible stuff. I got to find the box set for those. DVD or Blu-ray?
I think they just put them out on 4K, so you can get them on pretty much any media that
means nothing. But okay, that's fine.
It's slightly crisper.
A way to preserve it is fun. No, all that is, and for old properties and like newer stuff, I get it. But for older things, it's like when you're in Photoshop and you turn sharp past 100%, like you're up in the 250%, and you go, "This is pixelating way too much." That's exactly what you're doing.
It's funny that you say that because I get physical media. I just got new stuff the other day, and James Cameron is a huge proponent of upgrading everything to his 4K. So he just put out Terminator, the first Terminator, and all these other properties that he's done. But the problem everyone keeps complaining about is that he keeps, like what you said, sharpening it too much to the point where it doesn't look like the same movie and it doesn't have that film grain to it, and it looks too new. And so people are kind of trying to find that balance of film grain and up-resing to the 4K. So yeah, it is a weird balancing act, especially with those older properties.
And if you're out there doing your holiday shopping and you still go to a brick and mortar store that sells televisions, I think Best Buy still has them. They don't have much of anything else. It's usually appliances, 18 aisles of phone cases, and maybe a wall of televisions that people still haven't picked up yet, because who doesn't have one at this point for the flat screens? But if you go to a brick and mortar store and they try to upsell you with the 8K, or they say, "Oh, this has the 8K on there," it means nothing. 4K barely means anything. 8K means absolutely nothing. It's like, oh, but when 8K comes, for 15 years you've been promising 8K, and nothing has really come of it.
Or remember, like the curved screens, so you can get that theater-like experience, or the 3D. No one bid on that, so they always went away quick.
About a week or so ago, because we're going to be rebuilding the whole studio.
Sure.
I wanted to get new monitors for everything. I wanted to get rid of these things here because these were still kind of piecemeal. They're the same company, but they're not the same model, so shit's off a little bit no matter how you do the settings. So I put a feeler out there and I said, "Hey, you guys, I haven't bought monitors in a long time. What's out there? What do you recommend?" I mean, I'm doing my own research, but I want to see what everybody's using. And it's finding a balancing act, because some of them are really good, but they're meant for like intense gaming. Like if you're doing Call of Duty, you're doing full campaigns, Fortnite, those kind of things. There's games that have high refresh rates and smooth scrolling and all of these things here that are great, but they're a bit more difficult to use if you're doing work on them. If you're doing audio editing, video editing, basic spreadsheets and things like that, it's a little bit off. So I think I might give a shot to the Samsung curved monitors, a 32-inch curved monitor.
I've heard they're good.
I've heard
the
they're
one
good.
Giddles put out pushed you toward? Because I know he had a recommendation, I think, in our chat.
I don't think the Samsung ones is the one he told me about. Somebody, when I put it out on Instagram there about what monitors you guys using, the Samsung ones were being brought up a lot. And I'm looking at they got the pole for the rack kind of system, so I could put like two here. So I could have two 32-inch curved things to do what I want, instead of having monitor here, monitor over here, another computer over there, that kind of thing. I could do stuff like that. I'm getting flagged by our pal Chris Subdivision saying, "Don't do it. Curved monitors are not as good as straight OLED panels." Really? Damn it. I thought I just whittled all this down. I'm like, all right, I'm going to settle. When it comes to
you were setting up your case and you were like, "This is what I'm going to do," and it was just one comment.
Yeah, unless I have knowledge of a product, I don't just go and say, "This is good enough. I can do that." Whatever. For something like that, I consider it. I mean, they're not that expensive, but I consider it a major purchase.
Sure.
So I'm going to research all I can. I'm watching, the consumer review videos on YouTube. I'm watching shit on because I hate to say it, but Twitter, you can find a lot of shit too, but a lot of these review videos show up on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
It's awkward as hell watching some of this stuff in vertical. That thing has to go away. Everybody's got to get back to their phone going into that because it's just driving me crazy. But I go there looking up stuff there and finding current reviews and what have you. And I started whittling everything down. I was like, all right, these Samsung ones, great brand for a lot of electronics. These curved ones, I think they're going to be, it'll be good. For video game stuff, work stuff, I think I can find a balance with this stuff here. Chris,
do you think that's more aesthetically pleasing? Like just seeing the curve, you feel like you're more like in
I'm not looking for aesthetically pleasing. I'm just looking for something that can handle everything and look good when I'm... Because you know what sucks is when you're doing video editing on one screen and you have to drag it over because the session over to here while you're doing something like that, and it doesn't look the same there as it does over here.
Right.
And I gotta buy all the same exact model so that everything can be tuned the same way. So I'm seeing it all as it's meant to be seen. I wasn't really too big into the curved look of it, but I'm willing to, change with the times and move on with that kind of thing. Chris is saying, you have to call and talk to me about this. There's way too much to type. Oh, he's giving me... All right. Well, here, I'll give it out to everybody else. If you're looking for monitors, Chris is offering a helpful suggestion here. I
was going to say, he's in Discord. Go ahead and send a message with whatever, because, that'll help Eric. Yeah. He likes to...
Also, it's a budget thing. The screen is on sale, I think, for $1,000. That may be much, but I can definitely help you. All right. The Samsung
he
ones...
wants to satisfy you, is what he's trying to say.
I mean... Who am I to turn down that kind of offer?
It is Christmas. Any gift is great.
The monitors I was looking at, I think, were on sale for like somewhere in the $700 range.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, that's not too bad. But
which throws me off as far as you're like, I want to get a monitor, $700. It's on sale. That's not too bad. I'm sitting there going, there's a 70-inch television I'm looking at for less than $5.
Yeah.
Like it's weird how technology feels now. Like,
but
I used to think big screen TVs were crazy.
I'm also not the type that if it's more expensive, it means it's better,
Right. No, for sure.
There's certain things where that is definitely the case, but a lot of times it's, it can be and it can't be. But I look at it as an investment for work, for the studio, for everything else. So I'm like, if I'm going to spend that money, I want to get exactly what I need out of it and longevity out of it too. Mm-hmm. The ones I have here still are working fine. I just got to the point where mentally I sit down and I get so frustrated because none of it is looking the same. And it's just little things that you're working on. If your
colors are off,
yeah, and it's just driving me fucking crazy. I said I should just blow the whole thing up and get new monitors and reset everything and do all of that. But other than that, why did I bring up the monitors to begin with? What led us to this nonsense? I don't know.
Just talking about purchases and
whatevs. Anyway, happy holidays, everybody. Jordan,
8K.
We didn't do the show on Thursday like we were scheduled to.
Correct.
That was mostly because some other things came up, and you were traveling back from Las Vegas, which we'll get to in a second. And then Friday came around, and we said we told who we needed to tell. All right, we're going to do it Friday night, and we'll manually because when it's not there Friday morning, we have to take care of it. They don't have people that handle it then. So I was like, all right, I'll take care of everything. I'll do that. I'll send the emails out that it's done. And then Friday, I still had things going on, and I just go, I can't. This is not going to happen. There was no way it was going to happen. So we just decided to do the pop-up version of the show. It goes out, and, all right, it's a day or two later. What are they going to do at this point? They fired everyone else, so you might as well
just... I mean, they don't know where we're at anyway, so.
Yeah. But at last, here's the show. The podcast will be up. The video will be up at whatever point in time this weekend, so you'll have it to not watch or listen to for next week when the next show comes out. Next week also, my pal Justin Moriello is going to be on the program. We were supposed to do it this week, but everything fell apart, so it's pushed to next week. We're going to talk to him about his brand new single. I think I have his information here. There it is at the bottom. It's a brand new single from his band I Hate Kate, featuring a collaboration with Deluxe, which is a rocker from Mexico. And I went and checked out some of Deluxe stuff, and I've never heard of the guy until recently. Fantastic stuff. So look for both of them. But the new single is called "This Is What We're Living For." It's available on Spotify, Apple. The music video is up on YouTube, and we'll talk to him next week about all of that. So you were in Vegas. Why were you in Vegas? Why did you jet set off to Vegas?
So every year my company does kind of like a retreat, get together, go over any new things that are coming up for the next year. And then we do an awards dinner for our finance department, admissions department. I work for a school, and those two departments fly off to Vegas, get everybody together, and do like workshops during the day, go over a few things. And like I said, do kind of an awards dinner, kind of celebrate our wins, our accomplishments, things like that. And so, but they pack it into a very short amount of time.
For your industry. Got it.
Yeah, pretty much. So, but,
ours just had ours Friday night at Madison Square Garden, but we'll get into that in just a moment.
I was going to say, yeah, there you go. So I flew out Tuesday morning, got there mid-afternoon. I'm not far from Vegas. It's only about an hour flight. So Get there, get settled in. Room's not ready and all that stuff. So when I travel, I start to think like you do. I'm starting to think like, okay, maybe I should get clear. Maybe I should do all these things.
Oh, they sent me a bunch of passes for clear. If you want it, I'll send it over to you.
Yeah, hook me up, because I'll
send it while you talk.
Going to be doing a lot more traveling anyway. So
go ahead.
So I started my day off. I got up early, got ready, did all my stuff. I packed the night before. I'm not like a I have to plan days in advance kind of packer. Like the night before, I mean, I was talking to you and Rob that night while I was packing up. Like it was just, I got to get it done. It's already late. I got to get up early. So I'm just packing everything up. Next day, get out on the road. And of course, because, I'm running a little bit behind, every road to the airport
has
its
packed. Thorns. Oh.
It's packed. Every road has its thorns, potholes, garbage, construction, school zones, traffic, and it takes forever to get to the airport. No matter what route I go, there's someone in the way. Finally get to the airport. I can't find baggage check. Like I'm checking a bag this time. I got promoted. I have to dress up nice this time. I'm packing all kinds of stuff. So I'm not just taking a carry-on for like day and a half. I'm bringing a bunch of stuff. So I have to go check a bag, and I can't find baggage check for some reason. It's just nowhere to be found.
At Vegas airport? You can't find
no,
bag?
in Phoenix. In Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm doing all this in Phoenix. And so I finally find it, and they have this thing where you can go up to a little kiosk, type in all your information. They print out the little luggage tag, you stick it on there, then you get in line for them, just throw it on the scale, make sure you're good, and then that's it. You're gone. Very quick, very easy.
Right.
The problem is everybody's trying to get their stuff done. So I print off everything, and then I see that there is a line to get there. But the line is right where all the kiosks are. And because everyone is stupid, they print off their tag and immediately just kind of sidle into the line. So I'm waiting in this line for 10 minutes. I'm already running behind. I'm looking at the clock going, I'm barely going to make it to where I need to be.
Okay.
And people start filing in front of me. So the line keeps getting longer in front of me than it does behind me. And at one point I flip. Like, I'm like, you guys have to stop doing this. Like, I was mad that there's a guy in front of me getting frustrated. And I'm just like, I'm starting to get just visibly mad at an airport and wanting to yell at people because they're just cutting the line. And one lady gets in line, gets in front of me. And she goes,
"You're turning into me."
I'm turning into you. Okay. Exactly. This is exactly what this is. I'm starting to feel very Erik Nagel at this moment. I'm just like, this is very frustrating.
And I will not be inconvenienced, Dan.
It's so annoying.
Yeah.
And this lady walks up, gets in front of all of us, and she just wants to ask a question. And I'm trying to be nice. So I'm standing there. And then she turns and in whatever accent, I don't know where she was from, she goes, "I'm just needing to ask a question." And at one point I thought, I wanted to tell her, go ask somebody else. You're just going to hold this line up talking to one of these baggage people to ask your question. And sure enough, she stood there for 10 minutes talking to this lady. And I'm looking at this lady, and she's looking back at me, like not the lady asking the question, but the baggage lady.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, you should know better. What the hell are you doing? There's only two of you, and now you're having a conversation with this lady. I was so pissed. So I finally got my bag in, and now I'm running upstairs. I get to security, and now, of course, security is an issue. So because I don't have clear, I don't have pre-check. I'm in this long line.
Wait, you didn't even have pre-check? I mean, clear, I get. No. You don't pay for the pre-check?
No, I go through. I don't travel enough to require these things, but now I'm starting to see
pre-check is not a subscription thing like Clear is. Pre-check is you add it onto your ticket as you're buying your ticket.
No. Well, but see, these tickets were bought by my company. Like these are just I didn't buy these tickets. Like if I booked this trip, maybe I would consider
you're
it.
in a position of some authority right now.
I am
at that company. Yes. You speak to whoever handles your travel and throw your weight around a little bit and go, it is now automatically applied to my travel accommodations that if it's a certain airline, I will give you my flyer code so that you get the miles.
That
and
I do.
It has to have TSA pre-check on everything. There's no excuse.
I may have to start doing that. So this time I don't have it. So I'm in line. And I kid you not. How long has it been since 9/11? 2001. So we're 23 years past.
Right.
23, 24 years into post 9/11. We've taken off our shoes. We've given up our freedoms.
Not with Clear, you don't.
Lines. I know, and that's part of it. How many people do you think are confused about having to take off their belt, how to put their laptop where it needs to be, have to take off their shoes, have to take off their jackets, have to not have giant fucking Evian bottles of water or liquids? How many people do you think don't travel enough anymore? It's ridiculous.
Well, no, they've been seeing a record amount of people in the last year or 2 years of people traveling, even during the worst holiday times and stuff. So people are still going out there and traveling.
Correct, which means you know the rules. These rules have been in place for 23 years. These aren't just new for 2024, and we're all confused about how to work
I have to take my laptop out of my bag? Yes,
not every
and your
time.
iPad?
That's the problem. No, that's the problem. There are some airports that have the bigger machines that can accommodate, so you leave everything in your bag.
Right.
And then there's ones that have the smaller machines, and you have to take everything out. But you don't know which one you're getting, and the TSA guy is going to yell at you every time. So fuck that guy. Because, like, how am I supposed to know this? I'm taking it out. Leave it in. Well, fuck. Okay, fine. So I leave it in. But people just traveling should know, wear comfortable shoes. If you're going to wear boots that lace up all the way to your knees and you're going to hold the line up because you didn't take your damn boots off, what is your problem? You're going to wear comfortable slip-on shoes or something.
It's like when a person goes to a restaurant, like a fast food restaurant or a casual restaurant, that kind of thing, where they have a limited menu. And it's a place that everybody knows the fucking menu.
Yeah.
Like if they go into a McDonald's or a Chipotle or I mean, as much as I hate the place, Raising Cane's, they only have like 4 things at Raising Cane's.
Yeah, there's literally 5 things.
And they're standing there like trying to figure out what to get. It's like, how do you not know? Especially like a McDonald's or a Chipotle. People have been going there forever. How do you not know what they serve already? There's nothing new. Nothing. Oh, the McRib's back. Okay, one thing is new, but you saw all the advertisements wrapped around the building saying that was a thing.
Side note, I got a McRib again just to see how bad it really was. Just to see if it was, remember it being bad. It's terrible.
Garbage.
It's just so bad. It's so gross.
It's a sponge covered in terrible barbecue sauce.
It's bad. Anyway. So yes, I finally get through security. Like there are just 1,000 people not doing anything. I'm running behind. And by the time I get to my gate, my group is already ready to board. So like I had no time to decompress, sit, relax. Like it was bad. Like it's the closest to being on a flight that I've ever been on. I usually try to get there on time, maybe a little early, try to relax, maybe go see what's in the duty free shop or whatever. If I'm doing international, like I want to be able to not feel stressed. And the whole time I'm stressed out trying to get there. I walk up and sure enough, my boarding group, because I'm doing Southwest. So it was like, I'm in B, whatever. My line is already there. And I like walk up and almost walk directly onto the plane. It's the closest I've ever been. And it's just, it was nice because I just walk up and get on the plane and people have been waiting forever. And I'm just like, hey, what's up? But the other problem is like, I just don't like that stress of getting on the plane that quickly.
Well, you don't have that when you get the clear. Because,
there you go.
And especially, I'll add this in too, especially since they opened the new terminal at Newark Airport. Terminal A is the whole new thing. It's amazing. The way it's all laid out and the way it's set up, I'll show up an hour before the flight's supposed to take off now. I roll my bag into the little kiosk thing. I scan my pass. It prints out the sticker. I put it around the bag. Bring it over to the guy that puts it on the conveyor belt. I walk to the middle of the terminal now, and I scan the clear thing. And I think the most that you wait online is the line for clear. And that's maybe at most at 6 people.
And there wasn't that many people I noticed when I got into the line for security. Like when I was walking up, I saw the little thing. And when I saw that there was a clear ID or whatever, that line, there was like nobody there. I thought of you. I almost texted you. I'd be like, you know what? I need to get clear. I'm in a hurry. But I was in such a hurry that I was just
clear. There's clear that will take you to the that handles all your check-in stuff, but it takes you to the regular TSA line.
Yeah.
If you get clear with pre-check, so you got to add the TSA pre-check to your ticket, and then you have clear. You go to the other clear section. You walk through. There's a concierge person that walks you over, and you can either do the fingerprint thing or they scan your eyes, right? So I have it scan my eyes. And they go, okay. They walk you over to this security official that has to check your passport.
Give you a warm towel.
They look at it. They see you because you did it through clear. They don't have to put it in the machine to make sure it's a legal passport or
gotcha, because you've already verified all that before.
Boarding pass, all of those things. Yeah, so because they just look, they open it up to look at the picture. Is that you? That's them. You did it with clear. You're good. They walk you right to this one dedicated TSA area. Drop your bag and your stuff in there and a jacket. I don't take anything off anymore. The hoodie stays on. I throw my phone and keys, anything metal, I'll put into the thing. Let it go. Walk right through. Get it all back, and you're out. And it's like, oh, that took 5 to 7 minutes.
Yeah,
I
wear a
around.
belt. I wear a belt that has a plastic buckle, so I never take that off. But yeah, I had to take the hoodie off.
Are you 3D printing clothing? Is that where you're at now?
Well, if I can get through TSA pre-check,
you need a woman in your life. I never would say this otherwise, but if you're 3D printing your own clothing, you need a woman in your life to just get you on the right track again for what you're wearing, because this is heading down a very sad yet
it's my airport belt. They're always like, take off your belt, and I was like, nope, not doing that.
And that's when you just walk into regular stores too.
I know. But yeah, did all that, got through, got on the plane. The flight's fine. It's 45 minutes, no big deal. Get to Vegas, get my bag and do all that stuff. That stuff was actually pretty simple. What I didn't realize is that I had to get to the hotel, so I needed to either take a cab or take an Uber. And trying to coordinate with some of my coworkers, like, do we want to get on just in one cab, or do we want to take an Uber? I didn't realize that if you were going to take an Uber or a Lyft, you can't have it in the same area as the taxis. Like, they've run some deal where you could only do taxis in some area, and then you had to go up into like the actual like parking structure, and then they have an area where the Lyft people can pick you up, because I guess there was some kind of deal where it's illegal for them to be in the taxi load and unload area. Like, they have it streamlined. So ended up getting a taxi.
I don't think they have that here. I don't think they have that restriction. But
and I don't know if it's like that everywhere. I just know that
I don't take an Uber from the airport. I usually, like, on some cases, I have Uber pick me up and take me to the airport. Yeah. But a pickup, usually I have something else.
Yeah. So just ran into a cab, cost like $35 to get like 20 feet to the next, the actual hotel we were staying at. I'm a terrible passenger. Like, I don't like being a passenger in most people's cars. Like, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna do it, not somebody else for me.
You'll do it by your own hands.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna die, it's gonna be screaming with my passengers. Like, it's not gonna be me being in the passenger seat. The cab drivers in Las Vegas are daredevils, and they freak me. I was sitting there holding on to that little shit handle in the back seat, just freaking out, white knuckling it, because this guy would zip in and out of everything. He would zoom up on other cars. I mean, I swear to God, I was in the back seat of a van in front of me at one point. They freak me out. Like, that was the scariest 10-minute drive from the airport to the hotel I was staying at. I don't know how people do that stuff. Like, it freaked me out. But I mean, overall, the trip was fine. Did work stuff. Got ridiculously drunk Wednesday night. Went to Coyote Ugly. I posted it on Facebook that I didn't remember doing, but apparently I did. And Rob, of course, gave me the frowny face, which in most cases is a joke. I think this was a legit frowny face. No, it's not my thing to do. I didn't want to go, but everybody else was going. I was like, fuck, I'll go, and had many drinks. Did the Taco Bell Cantina with the alcoholic Baja Blasts. Those were tasty.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it was a fun little trip, and then got back Thursday. No,
was it
incidents
actual
on the way
Taco
back.
Bell food?
Yeah, it was like
wow.
you go in, you do the kiosk, you can get tacos, burritos, all your stuff, and then
you get your
you can order
Mexican
alcohol.
pizza that everyone says they miss so much, so they brought it back, but nobody eats it.
No, I just got a few tacos, and then it was interesting. Like, I'm not a bar person. Coyote Ugly. I mean, it was a Wednesday night, so there was like not a lot of people there. So
Chris
it was like
is saying
wasn't packed.
you were dancing on the bar. Don't bullshit us.
No, I wasn't, but I did have a coworker who she's in her, I think, 70s, take off her bra and throw it up there with everybody else's bras. I'm like, this is not something I want to be a part of.
Did you fire her?
No, she's not my employee.
Oh,
No, she's great. I mean, she's really nice, but I didn't expect that. I'm just like, okay,
that's disgusting.
this is weird. But it was fun. I think that good team building happens after the fact. Like, they do all these team building things, and they try to get everybody to get to know each other
Is it
during
a lot
all
of
these
trust
events.
falls and Jenga.
It was like, building towers of balloons and themes. This year was
So
Game of
Jenga.
Thrones theme, and I was
Yeah.
like, everyone dies on that show, right? Like, I don't know if this is the theme you really wanted to work retreat, but okay. I think the better team building happens when we all get drunk and just are more open about all the shit that we all deal with. So I had a good time, but it was it's such a lot in such a small amount of time. I was exhausted. Like, I'm glad we didn't do the show yesterday, because I was like falling asleep at like 8:00.
Yeah.
I'm just like ready to die. And that was a day removed.
Yeah, I was glad we didn't either, but I'll get into my stuff in a bit.
Yeah.
Any more about
That
Vegas?
was Vegas. No, I mean, it's hard to do anything while you're there. I mean, we did the Brazilian Steakhouse Tuesday night.
Which
got my
one?
team together. I think it was called Pampas. So
Was it
it was
good?
just it was not bad. They kept bringing all the good stuff.
Nice.
They had these. I didn't do the pineapple, like it was an add-on, and I just feel like there was just too much going on. I know I should.
What do you mean add-on? It usually
It was an
comes
add-on.
around as part of it.
Nope, you have to pay extra for it.
Oh man, well it's still
Yeah.
worth it, but
So I was like, you know what? I'll get the meal and then I'll get a bunch of drinks instead of just paying another.
yeah, like you
10,
get the
15 bucks for
garlic steak
pineapple.
or that cheese steak
It-
with the cheese oozing out of it.
They didn't have the cheesesteak, but they definitely had the garlic steak was the best. Like, they brought around.
Yeah, that's becoming my favorite now.
They brought around what they called spicy, like a sirloin. Like, they had like, this one's spicy, and I was like, it wasn't that spicy. Like, I had to get some of like the jalapenos from the salad bar area to kind of spice it up a little bit. But the garlic one, well, every time that came around, I was like, yes, please load more. Like,
Can't
that
go
was
wrong
good.
with that.
They had a good cheese bread that was actually really good. It was like these they almost like little rolls, but you pull them apart and it was just full of cheese. Those are really good. But yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with Brazilian radizio. So I was very happy about that. But
Well, good.
yeah,
Glad you had a
nothing
good
too
time.
eventful as far as like a bad time. And then again, we just no time to really do anything. We went and saw the Christmas displays at the Bellagio, saw the fountain, touristy stuff, just kind of hanging out,
Yeah.
drinking a lot.
Well, good.
So yeah, it was fun.
I didn't see any food photos, so I'm kind of disappointed.
I didn't
in you,
really-
but
I didn't take any
you
really.
should have.
I
Radizio?
know.
All the
I know,
time we
I'm
talk
sorry.
about Radizio, and you didn't even once to think, it's like, maybe I should send my pal what I'm doing here so that he gets upset that you're eating it and I'm
good
not.
point.
Right?
That is true. I know. I definitely did not do that.
There was
I think I did send. I think I sent you one picture of me getting drunk, drinking an alcoholic Baja Blast, and you're like, "Please don't do that."
Well, that's right, you
were,
did, yeah.
You were mad that I sent it. You're like, "No,
Let me see if I have that still. Hold on.
I'm sure you do." It was definitely what they call 3 sheets to the wind at that point. I mean, to the point where I don't remember. Okay, there was an incident.
All right,
where,
I didn't know it was the alcoholic Baja
Oh, that's the
Blast,
alcoholic. Yeah, that's
but
the Baja
it
Blast
just looks
full of
like you were
vodka.
standing in a wind tunnel, and it's not a flattering photo of you.
Oh, it's not a flattering photo. I don't remember taking it.
Yeah.
I was out, man. I got so drunk that I don't I remember getting to my room at some point, but I didn't set my alarm. I didn't have my phone turned on, and I had to be packed and ready to get out of my room the next morning. And then we had work stuff still, and I woke up at I think 7:20 just on my own and don't remember doing. Like, I don't remember like what woke me up, and I was freaking out. I thought, oh shit, I'm never going to get packed in time. I have to be bed down to do work stuff by 8. I'm going to miss breakfast. It was the whole day, Thursday was just a terrible hangover and still having to not even be a part of like team building, leading a team building seminar for 2 hours because it was my team that I was trying to work with. So I was like, this is the worst time. But most of us were all out the night before, so we were all pretty okay with just kind of taking it easy. But,
I was trying to catch up with the chat here, but Trashitarian was saying about the TSA stuff. I just went to Florida, and the woman in front of me had the TSA pre-check and still didn't know what she was doing. Almost left her cell phone at the checkpoint when they scan your face. By the way, always decline the facial scan. The clear
Why is
thing.
that?
Well, I'm not 100%.
Other than to get into the system.
I'm not 100% sure. I know there's some issues with it. I had the clear for a long time now, and that's just an option. You can either do the fingerprint or the eye thing, and it's already in there. So what do I care?
Right.
But they when I went on the cruise this summer, in order to check out with your bags, they had these things here. It said they had to scan everybody for facial recognition, and I was like, I got a kid with me. I'm not scanning the kid's face for that. And they were like, well, you have to.
You're all holding her up.
And I'm telling one of the agents there at the port, I was like, well, what am I supposed to do with her? Well, you have to hold. That's exactly what it is. You have to hold her up.
You have to hold her up.
And I go, no, it's all right. Well, you have to. I go, it can't be. It has to be an opt-out thing. It just has to. And I looked around. I even went online and I saw it. And it's like, oh, there is an opt-out thing. And I said, there's an opt-out thing. I don't want to scan the faces on that. And then they had to say, okay. And I had to show passports, that we were coming back into the country. And that's fine. Go back to that. But the airports have them now, too, outside of Clear. It's just at the TSA or other areas where you're coming back in here. Scan the thing. They have them at the gate where you scan your face for stuff like that. It's like, I don't need that much convenience in my life, where I just walk in and bink, everything goes off like there's a chipset in my head where they got my credit card, my information, all the ads will be tailored to me. Like, I don't need that much convenience and attention.
It's going to be like Total Recall, where you're just walking on a conveyor belt and there's just giant screen where everyone just sees through all your clothes just to see, and just you move about your business. Like, that's just what.
Although, since you mentioned Total Recall, I do like the idea that the television follows you when you walk around the house. So he started,
that Total? Oh yeah, that's
he started when he was talking with Sharon Stone, and then he's walking from like the kitchen or whatever, and it's following him down the hallway to wherever they're going.
Oh, recall. I get it.
That I want.
Yeah,
that's cool. A convenience I am pining for. Well, I'm glad you had a good time in Vegas. It definitely shows by you drinking to excess at a work event. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Nothing too crazy.
Anything else going on with you leading into the holidays?
Not too much. I gotta do all my Christmas shopping still. Like, I haven't done anything.
Yeah, I panicked.
It feels like Christmas has kind of just all of a sudden gotten here. Like, it's 2 weeks away. I mean, a week and a half away. Like, it's coming up. And
I did some panic shopping the other night, and I
got your gift. It's right here. I gotta send that to you. But other than that, I got nothing.
Did you get part of my gift that I sent you?
So I did. So I got a box today. Conveniently, I'm glad we got to wait because I was able to get this. I'm going to thank our friends over at Thrill Joy. I did get my Comic-Con version of the Freddy Krueger.
And they have the waxed seals on them.
They have
instead of how Funko does the sticker, they do the little wax seals like
part of me doesn't want to open this,
like a letter from the Queen or a bottle of Maker's Mark.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I've seen people open these and they are a really cool display item. So I am going to take this out, but yeah, they do have a little wax seal right on the inside.
Right.
6,000. These are heftier and bigger than I expected them to be.
Yeah, it's definitely something that you could use in a fight.
Right.
Or
and then in the box that you sent me was an autographed copy of The Conjuring by one Mr. Patrick Wilson, which is awesome because I have a copy of I think it's Death Proof, but you had it signed by Robert Rodriguez, which is pretty awesome. So I'm going to stick that on the shelf. It's going to be part of my autograph collection.
Yeah.
Well, so very cool. Thank you so much for that. I love this kind of stuff.
I thought you were going to say, which is great because over there on my shelf, I have a signed copy of The Conjuring by Vera Farmiga. So it's the other girl. It's the other lead.
That would be cool.
So now you have two, not on the same, but they just put them next to each other and
right.
And
so yeah, that'll go up there. And So I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No
and then
problem.
I've got something for you. I'm going to send that out, and we'll do our snack show soon because I'm going to pack it full of all kinds of goodies.
Yeah, we got to do the ramen show.
It actually came up today because a friend of mine found some ramen that looked really absolutely disgusting. And I remembered I still have to eat the s'mores one. So I'm sure whatever disgusting one they ended up finding is definitely not going to be as bad as what we're about to eat. So yeah, I'll get those sent over to you soon.
Very good. I panic shopped the other day for my Christmas stuff. Bought most of what I needed to, not all of it, but
are you doing it all in person, or are you just ordering out? Because I tend to do a lot of stuff on Amazon.
No, this is one of the first times that I haven't gone to the stores yet. I'm going this week for some things, but I've been buying everything online. Well, that's not entirely true. For the kids stuff, I started buying early because I was starting. Look, having a daughter, whole new path of life. I mean, obviously for having a kid, but I've never had that kind of experience where I got to focus on female stuff now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm learning what
it gets worse.
I'm learning I'm sure it is. I'm waiting, when the moody teen era comes around, and I can just hand her off to her mom and go, my era was this, you are that. And
I got her to this point. Now she's mad. So here's your times.
I'll be back to buy her a car, and we'll talk about college. But until then, this is your problem now, and I'll see you then.
She's bleeding again.
Yeah. So
it's all yours. Yep.
Walking around, pants by her ankles, holding her up. Well, it's like,
mind you, she's a teen now.
She's 11 years.
So
yeah. When do they get their periods? 11, 12, 13, somewhere in there. All right. Let's just say like 11 or 12. And you're holding her like an infant that couldn't hold. He couldn't wait for the bathroom.
Right.
And her mom's just like, why are her pants down by her ankle? I'm like, she's bleeding. I don't know what to do. And I'm walking her like this.
I don't know how to handle this.
It's hilarious.
It'd be so awkward.
That is very funny. So anyway, having the daughter around, my sisters, I didn't really pay attention to their likes and dislikes. You would just tell me, and I would get them whatever growing up. But now having to think ahead for having a girl in my life I have to take care of. So I started doing Christmas shopping, I think around the last week of October. I would see certain things, and I started doing a lot of research because I know toy stuff and collectibles and all those things, but it's usually either for everybody or more guy stuff. I'm reading up on things that she likes. I don't know what else is out there, so I'm trying to see their product lines and I go, oh, that's new. That might be big for Christmas, and that might be important that they would like. So I've been buying things here and there.
Right.
And apparently one of the things is a hot item this year, and I was glad I got it because they haven't been in stores for a while. I think, random stores have them. It's like a 4-foot something tall Princess Elsa from Frozen.
Gotcha.
You hit something on there, it sings, it moves around and whatever. It's got the thing you can comb because they love combing hair and doing makeup and all that stuff. So there, princess dress comes with things that the kid can dress up with too and all of that. And I was like, oh, that looks good. I bought it. It was on sale and, used one of the many gift cards that I have laying around and, got it, put it away. And now I've been seeing more and more that people have been trying to find this thing and it's never there. Bunch of other stuff. I'd see something in the store, I'd see something online, and I'd try to find a store where I could go get it now instead of waiting for it to be shipped. Other stuff I had shipped. So like she's been pretty much done before December even got here. And it's not like she's at the age where things change so much in their lives where I got to, it's a new style of clothing, a band thing, a movie, whatever, like that stuff. This is just basic things.
Yeah, no, that's where I'm at. Well, and I have the problem of, because I don't want to feel like I'm not being equitable to both kids, that I tend to believe like if I spent this much on you, I have to kind of spend the same amount on you. And I ended up buying my daughter a ticket to see Fall Out Boy in February, and I spent way too much money that I should have. And now I feel like for the boy, I'm sitting there going, okay, what am I going to get him? You know, I can get him a VR headset for like $400 and be good, or, you know, give him a bunch of small stuff. So like, I'm
get him a Roblox gift card and you're good.
Yeah, he likes it. I don't know. But he always like takes my VR set, like my Meta Quest and stuff like that. So I'm like, I don't know, I can get one pretty cheap and he would be happy with it. So I don't know. That's where I was today. I was kind of checking stuff out, kind of window shopping and seeing what I can order for cheaper or price match. Target was a mess today. Like there's just so many people out and about.
Yeah.
I've got some days off next week at the end of the week. So those are going to be my shopping days. So I'm going to pile it on at the last minute. And,
I just had to add,
get all that done.
Yesterday I had to add something to my shopping itinerary because I got an alert from Bath and Body Works, and my mom likes stuff from there. So
you do love your lotions, your drawer of lotions.
Hang on, cart before the horse here. So there's a sale going on, so I was like, I got to go get her stuff. So I go and I get some of the scents that she likes. What happens to be on sale? If you don't know this by me, I've talked about it for years. You can go back and shows for proof. I have a thing for hand soaps. So the Twisted Peppermint hand soaps are on an insane sale right now. So and they just extended it for another 2 days. So I will be going over either later today or tomorrow and picking up maybe half a dozen of the hand soaps that I use for the studio, and that'll last me, I think, for the year. Yes.
I was going to say, like, in people coming on unsure of how much you're really talking about. No, he has sent us pictures of a drawer he has dedicated just to these soaps. You pull that drawer open, and they're all just lined up, ready to be used. Like, you know, Twisted Peppermint. You do tend to stick to like the seasonals. I don't remember seeing a lot of, you know, random. It's usually during this time. This is when you stock up the most.
I do. I have ones that I use for my kitchen too, and they're usually lemon based.
Yeah, like the summer scents.
So they have like, and they all have these weird concoctions and names like snowfall and lemon. It's like, what? It's just a picture of a lemon with snow on it.
Could you imagine having to name these things?
Yeah. So
Moonlight Pool. Like, what? It smells like chlorine. It's
one girl in college and a gay guy, and they're just sitting there together, and they're just coming up with these fantastic
writing
names.
Poetry.
They bring it into the board meeting, and they just look off there, and they go, yeah, whatever they picked, I just trust it, and they all become bestsellers anyway, so I don't even need to look at the list.
Right.
But yeah, I get like the lemon. Sometimes they have like the peach Bellini ones. I get
that's a good one.
Those are fantastic, and I see our pals there over at Podcast Media saying Bath and Body Works rocks the buy 3 get 2 free. They know.
They know. I wish they'd do it like they would do with soda, where it's just buy 2 get 3 free, and you get that extra. But no,
soda's a lost cause.
I know. I'm kind of getting tired.
There was like I walked in. I think I sent you a photo about a month or so ago where it's a 2 for $25.
Well, it was like buy 2 get the next one for like 20% off.
Oh, that's like what Target. It was. Yeah.
And you were just like, this is a ridiculous sale. I'm like, yeah, I just did a buy 2 get 3. In fact, I got one of them. I got was the 7-Up Shirley Temple. So I have those to try. So when we do some more consumer stuff, I've got.
I have those too. I haven't opened them up yet. I gave some to family members. They all loved it, but I have not tried it myself. And I have the 7-Up Cherry Cola that I still need to try.
Ooh.
So that's fantastic.
Okay.
But for those who are not believing, look, there it is.
Oh my God. Are those your points?
Yeah, my reward points.
It went from 0 to just started shooting up like you were doing like a Wi-Fi test.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so I will be frequenting. And conveniently, I have 2 locations that are equidistant to my location. Nice. So I might go over to the American Dream Mall in Secaucus, and then I might go over to yet another mall and check all of that stuff out.
That's funny.
Subdivisions in the chat saying, how many kids have come to Erik's house at Halloween thinking they got candy and they've eaten a tiny hand soap? But that would be so hilarious good. Because there's that old people candy they still sell. It's like in some like silver cellophane. It's lavender candies.
I don't.
It might as well be potpourri or soap. Just grab that shit and give it out.
That reminds me. Hold on 1 second.
Uh-oh. Cargo, you're wearing camouflage shorts again?
Speaking of old candies, look what I got my hands on.
You have camouflage shorts on?
Yes, I do. So you can't see me.
I know, but desert terrain.
Look at that. I got those peanut butter candies that you can never find. So they got the orange wrapper and the black wrapper.
Oh.
They're so gross. I love them. Like every bit of it. Like, look how gross that. Like they still make these things.
Wait, hold on. Enhance.
So gross.
Oh, that looks like some kind of toffee.
I know. I'm so excited.
Ugh. No, thank you.
I still can't. Yeah.
No, thank you. So
I just had it. I was like, oh.
Christmas shopping, will be done. We've got about a week and a half left.
It's coming up quick. I don't know what happened.
I have to. I got to buy for the service people in my life, not military, but the landscapers. I got to do the mailman, the garbage people. I have a few other services that I use.
I don't think I've ever done that.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that was actually a thing. I think it's more East Coast.
What? Because we have grass. You have sand. You have to have a landscaper.
Someone comb my sand.
Yeah. Your landscapers are out there making Zen gardens.
Like Zen gardens in
They're
my
just
front
sitting
yard.
there with rakes, little patterns. It's the same shitty patterns that they put on the froth of your lattes at a coffee shop.
They just draw on my face in my yard.
Yeah, it's like the spade symbol from a deck of cards that's flooring out. It looks like that weird Palm Island in Saudi Arabia.
In Saudi Arabia,
yeah. It's just like, it's so weird out by your area. I mean, it's a treasure trove of fantasticness.
We're spray painting our grass to look green.
Yeah. It's all artificial turf.
It's all artificial. Yeah. Nothing's real.
So yeah, all that stuff's done. So I had the last couple of days. So I had a family member that had to be in the hospital, and it took a long time, like 2 days. So I was there for most of it, and got home last night, and there was a million things I had to take care of, and with the kid and the pets and what have you. At some point, I misplaced my phone, and I never do that. So I'm like, I don't know where it is. I can't find it. So I borrow someone's phone to call it, and I forget that I turn my ringer off all the time because I hate just leaving my phone there. If you're talking to somebody or doing whatever, it's just text noises and all that. So I always turn it off. So I can't call the phone. So at this point,
you have an iPhone, right?
I do.
Okay.
At this point, what do you think my next steps were? All right. I've tried. I looked everywhere I've been in the house. It's not there. I even went back to my car, even though I know I didn't have it in the car because I had it in the house. I looked there as well. It's not there. I tried calling my phone. Can't hear it anywhere. What do you think my next step was?
I mean, I would assume that you would lean down, you put your hands on your hips like this, and you lean in and yell at your kid for taking your phone.
And then I dip, you dip, we dip. No.
I don't know. Turn off your phone. Like, I don't know.
So,
because for me, there is a solution to this that you could have done.
All right. What is your solution? Then I'll tell you what my steps were.
You could literally go on your computer and do a Find My.
Okay.
And then find your phone. It'll beep regardless of it being low. Because I had to do that the other day when I was wrapping something, and somehow my phone slipped out of my pocket into a box next to me that it was standing next to.
Right.
And didn't hear it. And no matter what I could do, I couldn't find it. I just did that and it beeped. So that's the easy solution.
All right, that is
what's the Nagel solution?
Well, I get there, but I'll tell you in a second. Heather, real quick in the chat, I leave a gift in my mailbox for my mailman, but that's all I got, and that's good.
But
that
aren't
you
they
do
supposed
that.
to bring gifts to you? Like, come on now.
I understand, but it's
That's
nice that you go and put in the extra effort to do all of that stuff. And I wanted to backtrack on this real quick. Subdivisions in the chat. Chris is saying the look of the Erok's look of disappointment when you show him the peanut butter candies.
Yeah, just sadness.
And also, Jordan, you're giving Erik way too much credit for thinking he would do that.
Right, it's a logical solution.
Okay,
it's not the Nagel solution.
Well, it becomes the final solution at the end of this. But here's what happens. So I'm thinking, I'm like, shit, the phone's off. I can't call it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, because everybody else went upstairs, I know what I'll do. I took the other person's phone. I turn off the lights in the house, and I go to each room, and I go, if I call it, it's going to light up. So I'll find it. So so now this is what
not the worst idea.
No, but here's where I realized why I did this, because subconsciously I didn't understand why I did this until last night after I had the phone. I've been playing Phasmophobia way too much. And there's a lot of tricks like that where you got to turn off the lights in order to trigger this ghost or get this reaction or whatever. I turn the lights off in each room. I call on the other person's phone looking to see if the light shows up wherever my phone might be. Mm-hmm. I did this to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rooms. I walked in, I shut the door, I turn the lights off, I call the phone, and I'm looking, I don't see any light anywhere. Even if the phone is laying down on a surface,
you should see something.
You'll see a glow from the text, right? Or from the screen.
Do you have it vibrating when you have the sound down? Like, would you have been able to hear it? No, when you
turn it off, the phone doesn't vibrate. If I get a text,
set that as a setting. You can still set that as a setting as vibrate still, even when silenced. Like, there is an option. I just didn't know if you would just completely.
I didn't explore that, I guess. Yeah. So maybe I should.
Well, now you might have to. Yeah.
All right. So I'm now ghost hunting for my phone, and I go through every room. I turn all the lights off. I'm turning and I'm looking. I'm looking under the couch. I'm looking under tables. I'm looking everywhere. Nothing. So I turn it back on, and I go, "Damn it!" And I go, "All right. I know I have that Find Me app, but that means I got to log in my shit on someone else's phone, and I don't want to do that." And then I remember
privacy settings over finding your phone.
Yeah. So then I remembered that I have an old iPad that is synced to my stuff here, because I get pissed when I turn that iPad on to use it for other things. The apps that I'm currently using show up on that thing, and I'm like, oh, I forgot. So I went, oh, I have that old iPad. So I go down to the studio here. I go through the cabinet to get it out, and it's dead. So I have to plug it in, and I'm waiting, I think 10, 15 minutes for it to charge enough that I can activate this thing, right? So then I do it, and I do the Find My thing, and I see it's all synced. I'm like, perfect, I can do this. So I do the Find My thing. It shows you a map. It's at my place. And I go, yes, it's in my place. So now I'm zooming in as much as I can to see where a portion of my place it's located at, right? So I see it, and it's sort of in the middle. So I'm like, okay, this could be the middle of the first floor or the second floor. I wasn't on the third floor, so it's somewhere in those two floors. And I'm trying to remember what I did. And I see something on there that I wasn't aware of. And it's essentially turning sonar on for your phone. And it's pinging the phone. Mm-hmm. So there's a thing you can go through here. It turns it on, and it overrides your phone or your other device, and starts making some kind of sound that I've never heard of before.
Mm-hmm. It's like a ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, ding, ding, ding. It's like a beacon to find the thing. And I start hearing it. I go, oh, this is great. So I'm walking around like a douchebag holding my iPad like this, like I'm in a ghost hunting video game.
You're like this. You're like, do I hear it?
And I'm walking through, and I can't find it. I'm like, all right, I'm hearing it. Okay, it's by the couch. All right, so I'm looking by the couch. I'm looking under the floor. I'm like, it's not here. It's right here. So I lift up the cushions. It's not there. I'm like, one, why is my phone over here? Because I wasn't by here. And two, I can't find it, but I'm hearing it. All I can think of is the kid took the phone and threw it on the couch.
Right.
And it went down in between the base of the couch and the arm of the couch. So there I am trying to shove my arm into that crevice there to pick up my phone out of the internal organs of the couch while it's making this sound. And then I turned it off on the phone, turned it off on this, and I went, thank God I saved that old iPad, because otherwise I would have had no chance of finding that it fell in between the couch. And not just in the couch cushions. It went into the couch.
That's crazy.
So, is that a show title suggestion?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just was wondering.
I'm going to put them there because it just makes more sense.
So I go and I'm getting everything else done, and then I go downstairs, and then I go and set up the gaming computer, and I'm gonna play. And I sat there and I went, oh my God, I just realized
why you did that.
Why I did the black, turning off the lights, looking for the thing glowing. I'm like, it's this stupid game. Because I just booted the game up and I went, oh my God, that's why I did it. Because I couldn't figure, I'm like, I thought it was clever at the time. And in a way it is. If you didn't know about the Find Me thing, it's a clever attempt at a solution. But I knew damn well about the Find Me thing. Why didn't I just go to that? It was that stupid game. Which, by the way, I'll probably be playing tonight and for the next several days. So if Jordan ever does actually fulfill his agreement of showing up to play a game, we would have fun playing Phasmophobia.
I think I'll do it.
Okay.
You gotta do this thing though. You gotta be like, don't tell me that, hey, do you want to play later? Sure, I'm just doing this, but I'll be around. And then you tell me, well, I'm editing, and then go radio silent. I will forget to reach out to you. When you are ready to play, say, hey, idiot, jump on. And then I'll be like, I believe you were texting Rob, and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
So, yeah, just remind me. If you're going to go on, All right. Let me know.
None on me, but I will take your advice into consideration. So I found my phone, and I enjoyed playing my game. Now.
That's good.
I want to talk to you about something that's been going on in my area of the world.
And it has been blowing up. Everywhere I look, this particular thing is going crazy.
It's completely ridiculous. And this started about 3 weeks ago. And when I started mentioning it to people, no one either heard of it or even gave a shit about it. Or everybody said, sure, it's not a plane. Because, well, to be fair, I'm in the New York City area. Mm-hmm. We have 3 major airports, plus, several, what are the smaller airports called? Municipalities? No.
I don't know. I don't remember what
there's a term, but you know what I'm talking about.
Municipal airports. Just
municipal airports. The ones that they do private jets and smaller airlines and things like that. So, yeah, I'm like, oh, these drone things are happening. Okay, whatever. And then they kept happening. It's like people are seeing drones. Oh, it's got to be from something. Then the next night, there's more drone. Like more and more kept showing up, and it got to the point when I started to see on NBC Nightly News, they go, "There's an ongoing drone problem happening in the New York City and state of New Jersey area," and they showed a map of where drones have been pinged, and the majority of the outline of the state has been covered in drones. They were flying over a naval base and some military stuff in the Jersey, Pennsylvania area that they share over there near Philly. They were flying over some military stuff in the state of New Jersey. They were flying over Trump's golf course that he has here. Mm-hmm. And then they started branching out into the 5 boroughs of New York City. And then they were showing up in Pennsylvania. And then I think recently they're starting to show up now in Maryland. And it's just expanding the reach of these things. So people are going crazy about drones. Now, I'm like, all right, this is fun. I went outside and I would see them time to time. Now, you got to stare a little bit because I'm in a lot of flight paths. So you got to really determine what's an airplane and what isn't. Mm-hmm. But then eventually I started noticing, I'm like, okay, I see the way this thing's moving. That's not a plane. That it doesn't move in that direction. And then a couple of the drones I saw, when you got them, like if you go near the highways, they show up. And if you get a good look at them, some of them have the wings that go out this way, like forward, because they got the propeller things holding it up. So it's interesting. And then it keeps going on and going on. Then mayors were asking the governor to do something about this. And the governor contacts the FBI. And then the FBI is involved. Now the New York and New Jersey governors are involved. And they're all saying, find an answer for this. So then the FBI is getting Department of Homeland Security and certain military branches to look into this thing. They can't explain where they're coming from. And they tend to disappear. They can't track a lot of them. Now, I couldn't figure out biggest military in the world. Why can't they figure this out?
Right.
Well,
seems kind of weird.
From what I understand, whoever is controlling this is being FAA compliant. So they're flying. Sometimes they're flying under the flight ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're under the flight ceiling, they can't be. There's no like heat detection for those things. If they're under 50 feet or something like that, so they're flying there. A lot of them have the lights that you need for flying some kind of aircraft that high. They've got the red and green lights, the strobe white lights. They have everything that you need to identify, except like the call signs, the lettering, whatever. So they're everywhere.
No, see, here's the thing. I have a drone, so I have a smaller.
I have a drone.
And
one day I will harass my neighborhood.
But my drone,
I want that.
If you buy one of the smaller, I have a drone. It's just some nerd. If your drone is under a certain weight, you don't have to register it with the FCC or FTT or what is the FAA. So you don't have to have anything. If your drone is higher than that weight, you have to register it legally.
Right.
I put something on mine that increased the weight just slightly enough where mine, even though it's a small recreational one, fly it around, I can get up in there. You have to have it registered. So you have to have a flight number on there at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Like if someone catches that and they decide to weigh it or figure it out, you have to have that. So I'm sure these drones do have that information. If they're complying with everything else, they would have to have that.
See, they don't because they've been examined and the information's
weird.
Not available. So they have the lights. They're flying in the patterns that they're supposed to.
Right.
Legally, but they don't have identifying marks on them.
That's so weird.
So,
and no one's come forward to say these are ours. This is
no,
what we're
because
doing.
they've also it's on record too from Homeland Security and stuff. There's times where they can't trace it. They go dark and then they fly under a certain radar. They can't find where they're originating from. Now, that sounds like bullshit because I'm sure they know. It sounds, it's really, I'm not getting into conspiracy.
They're mapping
stuff,
our neighborhood.
But it sounds like a code. Yeah. Look, if it said Google, no one has a problem with that stupid clunky vehicle driving up and down your streets.
With the big things on
if
the
there
top.
were Google drones going around, everybody would be posing, fucking in the backyard, doing all that shit to, get noticed on the thing that they do.
Right.
But they don't have this. So a lot of this isn't making sense. They're out all the time. They're not out during the day. They're out at night. And they're only out for like 4 hours, maybe 4 to 5 hours, and then they're gone. Because usually by midnight, you don't see them anymore. But nighttime here starts around 4:30, 5 o'clock window. And then between 5 and 5:30, it's completely black out. So they go out around that time. And I've seen them. You've seen them, following the highway lines. I've seen them over MetLife Stadium over in Secaucus. If you have enough clearing in your neighborhood, you just stand up. Eventually, you see them. They're going by. Now, I posted a couple video clips on my social media, and I said I wasn't enthusiastic about it, but I wasn't also shitting on people with it. I just went, "Yep, there's a drone," because it's like trending. If you have the neighborhood app or a Ring Cam or any of those things,
talking about that.
It's just not. I almost deleted some of the apps, even though I have to use them, because people don't fucking stop. There's one over here. There's one over at this place. There's one over here. And then there are people. It's like, if you get it, it's like, call the cops right away and send them their footage. Let them know where it is. And I had to write in one of those apps, and I wrote, they turned off their comments for this post. And I had to file a new post. And I said, do not call the cops and waste their time with this. Mm-hmm. It's a national news story. It's heavily covered locally. Everybody that needs to know higher up than the police knows. So don't waste the cops' time with this. There's nothing we can do about it. Let it be. And then I got flagged as a community note.
Yeah, because you were being mean. You're being
no,
mean to people.
Because I was advising against involving law enforcement.
So stupid.
And I'm trying. There's nobody to call and talk about this. And I wrote back and I said, for your when you get flagged, you get one little section to write your response. And I go, I'm telling you not to waste law enforcement's time with this nonsense that we can't do anything about because you saw a drone in the sky, and I'm getting flagged for this thing. I sent it in there, it was pending, and then it came back. It was still rejected. I was like, fuck these people. Whatever. I posted the videos up online. Now, I've come to determine one or two things. I don't know who's worse. The people that are drone obsessed crazy about this, or the weekend flight enthusiast hobbyists that are posting on my social media accounts that don't follow me. I've never had any interaction with them, trying to flex nuts with their aerial knowledge about these planes and trying to put it out there and say, actually, it's this version of a plane, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, if you must be near some smaller airports, because if you actually knew what this was, it's like, fuck you, dorks. And some of them are veterans of aerial, whatever they did in their lives. I don't know. It doesn't say military, so I can feel free to shit on them. Right. But it's like, all right, I keep calling them weekend warriors. Like when people shit on guys that have motorcycles, but they're not really motorcycle guys.
Right.
They don't like being called hobbyists. They really don't. And it's been actually more fun than I thought, because I was just putting the video up there because it was trending. And now the amount of response I was getting. I also didn't realize that I hit something that, because I never use Threads, but my Instagram sent it to Threads because it's all tied together. And the people on Threads are possibly the most autistic people I've ever seen, because they are just no nonsense, matter of fact, right down the line, literal Larrys, posting everything about flight plans and airplane structure and all this other shit. And I would just write, no. One word, no. And they lose their mind. What do you mean,
Wrong.
no? It's like, you're too fucking stupid to know that this is, and you think drones are everywhere. And I went, not really. They can't handle this. So I'm not doing the big back and forth, because I look at their profiles. They have some sort of aerial thing listed in their profiles. But I come back and I go, we'll just have to disagree. They will not tolerate this thing. Now, the drone people going crazy, asking for permission to use this video. And then all of a sudden I start seeing I'm getting reposted in message boards and stuff for the drone video that I had up there. And I'm just like, this is nuts. This is crazy. You have people who are getting way too upset over this for the drone, thinking it's like some kind of invasion.
Right.
And then you got these other people that they think they're the cool guys laughing at these drone enthusiasts, or people getting freaked out about drones because what do they call flyboys or something?
Oh, I don't know.
The old World War II shit like that. But they're those guys you think that walk around in their leather members only jackets and all that kind of shit with a scarf around their neck. They think they're that guy in their head, right? But they're sitting there just giving you statistics about plane manufacturing and all this in aerial history. And it's like, I don't care about either one of these. I don't care. I just put it up there and went, yep, there's a drone, just because everyone else was posting, freaking out about drones. There was one by the highway. I just turned my phone on, and that was it. And then you get other assholes. Oh, we can do all this. It's like, how can nobody get a clear shot of these things with their phone? One, it's at night. Two, they're up a little bit higher, so when you zoom in, it's a digital zoom. It's not a manual zoom. It's not a lens. Yeah. So you're getting the best that you can get out of that. Oh, you have these people too. Well, if you had an Android, it's like, no, the Android wouldn't have been much better for as high as that thing was, right? This one came down a little bit. I took footage of it, and I just put it on and went, yep, it's a drone. That was it. I wasn't rallying it. I wasn't going crazy. I wasn't sending around proof. It's like, yep, it's a drone. And it went from there. So my Instagram blew up. My Threads, which I've never used, apparently is a hotbed right now because people don't like being told no. And one guy I called a dork, and he was not happy with that. Oh, here's a guy. The video here, and he goes, it's literally an AW609. And I went, no.
So what?
And he goes, yes. And I said, still no. And he's writing back, it is so. How do you not see this? And I'm not going to respond to any more of this because I've already interacted one more than I usually go. I go one step further, and that's about it. And I let them linger. But these people, people go nuts about the drones. People go nuts about proving that it's not drones, that they're all planes and nobody knows what an airplane looks like. They're a bunch of fucking idiots too. Like, everyone's just showing that they're idiots for whatever reason. Whoever is doing this, if it comes out, it's just a group of enthusiasts that got together and organized this just to fuck with people. Bravo. Because you did it.
100%.
You did it. Fantastic on you. There's other people thinking that this is a secret operation for Space Force. I've seen that come up from people on the local news.
Seems dumb.
I've seen other people saying that this is some sort of military thing, that they're just doing it to observe some new technology, some new whatever, that they don't have to disclose what's going on if they don't need to. I don't know what it is. I don't really care what it is. I do enjoy seeing everybody melt down for the wrong reasons about all of this stuff. But it became a national story. Now, they're starting to show up in other cities.
Mm-hmm.
Sacramento, where you at, had a piece I saw online about drones showing up in Sacramento. I don't know what kind of attention you're going to get in Sacramento. Yes, it's the capital of one of the biggest states in the country, but no one gives a fuck about Sacramento. If you did it in San Francisco or Los Angeles, you might get some attention. But who gives a fuck? It's like saying, like, oh, I'm in Boise, Idaho, and there's just a fleet of drones over that. No one would care. And they're like, oh, that's
Delaware.
Weird. You take photos, and it would look like the ending of Cloverfield 2. What was it? 10 Cloverfield Lane, where she stands on the top of the car, looks over the cornfield, and there's just ships hovering. That's what it would look like out there. No one would care. Swing away. Hit a glass of water. We've learned that that's what kills aliens. It's just a glass of water to the face.
I fucking hate them.
But
I hate that.
Go ahead.
No, you said swing away, and that's like one of the worst lines.
It is. It's a terrible movie.
It's cringy.
So fucking awful. So drones are here, and they're part of our lives for the time being. So be it. We had a weather balloon that flew all the way across the country that they identified and said it was from China, and didn't shoot it down until it was at least 3 miles off the coast of the east coast of the United States.
I remember that, yeah.
They waited that long for it. And nothing was ever revealed or said again about it. Did they find technology on there? What was it doing?
Yeah,
Nothing.
They've never addressed that one.
We'll never find out what these drones are. One day they'll just go away, and we're going... You know what? It's probably... Whoever's doing this, it's smart, because they're building all this up now. You turn it off next week, going into Christmas. Everyone's focused on Christmas because it's also Hanukkah.
Mm-hmm.
So the two major religions having holidays at the same time... Everyone's going to be focusing on that, and that's going to... they'll forget about it. And then come January 1st, December 31st, when they do the year in review, remember this happened this year? Oh, yeah, remember the drones on the East Coast? Yeah, when was it? 2 weeks ago. Wow, that seems so far away. That's what's going to happen. We'll never get an answer for this.
Because like you said, it happened. It started popping up around 2-3 weeks ago, and everyone was like, oh, what is this? And then it disappeared. No one said shit. And then all of a sudden, within the last week, this has been the hotbed of discussion. I
remember telling you that. I was texting you about this, and you're like, "I'm like, do you know? Have you seen this story?" And you're like, "No, I haven't heard about it." And people hadn't heard about it, and then it started showing up nationally.
Right, and originally, my thought was Amazon. I know here in Arizona recently got clearance to actually do the drone deliveries. So I thought, are they testing drone deliveries? I didn't realize they were just showing up at night only. So like my thought was like, okay, we got to think about like what's been out there. Like I know Amazon's been doing that. Maybe it's a new mapping, checking out the streets. But now that you're telling me that it's strictly been at night, that's just weird.
Yeah, it's a certain window at night, 4 to 5 hours at least from my observation.
It's kind of odd.
I'll show you the videos that I have. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one, I didn't post this one because I saw it going over housetops, but I could see the shape, but I was like, this could just be a plane because it was going in this one direction. But here we go.
And those are fairly large. Like, those are big drones.
Yeah, and you can see I'm zooming in on the thing, and it's just getting worse digitally, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But you can see that it's not a fucking plane, right?
No.
So I was like, all right, maybe if I get something else. So I go over by, there's a highway not too far from me. I go over by there because it's opened up. And I pull off at a place near the side of the highway, and I'm waiting to see it. And then I'm seeing more of them. And the other people are starting to show up at these places now that have open clearings along the side of the highways because they're now looking for drones. Everyone's trying to get drone footage and stuff.
Right.
Here's the other one. This is the one I put out that got all this attention here. So much so that I had networks asking me for permission to use this drone footage, and I told them all no.
Look, you got to do the Brian bit when you're on a flight and people are going crazy or there's shit going down the thing. You got to hold on to this drone footage.
It wasn't Brian. It was Jay.
Was it Jay?
Jay from Masters of None. The one where the shit
Jay.
going down the. Yeah.
So
Yeah, he found one of those licensing companies so he made money off of that thing.
Right.
But this just looks like social media people they have at the networks that would reach out.
Mm-hmm.
And my DM's open, so you could have DM'd me. They're posting under the video of somebody from ABC. It's like, we'd like to use this. Could you reach out? Could you DM us? And I went, no. I'm not reaching out to you for this shit. I'm not looking for that kind of attention. But if they're writing in the responses, I was really doubting the legitimacy of them.
Right.
Because one of them said they worked for ABC but had no avatar. The account was low, whatever. But then a couple other people, then they looked like they were local stations, not national stuff. And I just wrote no. Because they all said, could you reach out to us? No.
Nope.
Same one word answer. I was telling all the people who said that this was an airplane. I just went no. Anyway, this is the video. Take a look at this. Okay.
It's moving pretty quick too. I mean, the drones are fast. Like they're quick little things.
Now you can see at some point people saying that's a jet. That's whatever. No,
it's not a jet.
It's not a jet. They have 4 propeller arms out. They're like, some of them look like a weird V. Others look like a giant X. And that's what it was. You could hear it. Now, I don't have it in here in the video because there was just cars going by. And when I was playing it, I'm like, hearing the cars go by on the side of the highway was really annoying. So I just took the audio out. But when it comes over, it's humming. It's a zzz, it's that kind of noise going over there. That's not a fucking plane. A plane, even a smaller jet, you can hear coming. And as it goes past you, you see it over there, the sound catches up. You feel it, you hear it. That's a plane. For me getting this close with the digital zoom on there's no noise other than it might as well have been a fucking go-kart that was flying overhead. But anyway, here it is. So it goes right over there, right? That's it. Short little clip. I didn't think anything else of it. Like, all right, there's a clip. Threw it up there. I go, yep, it's a drone. That's it. Next day, all this shit's there. And I was just like, man, people want to they just want to be part of something. Some want to believe that it's aliens. Some want to believe that this is a government thing. So one of the more ridiculous ones was somebody saying they were coming from Iran. I'm like, Iran? That they may have warheads on them. They're scoping out areas to a hit and all that stuff. It's like, Iran could barely function as its own country. It's not having the money for this kind of military technology.
I mean, it's not outside the realm of possibility that a foreign entity could have something like that. However, distance-wise, Iran would have to have something locally to be able to launch these things because no drone is going to go over the Atlantic.
No. The drones that the United States government has are essentially like missiles with wings.
Sure.
So they're propelled.
Powered by Xbox controllers and Mountain Dew. Like, that's how they work.
That was the movie Toys, remember, in the 90s?
Yeah.
Robin Williams and LL Cool J. That was the whole thing. It was a toy company brainwashing kids with video games so that they could be used as military weapons.
Yep.
If you think we're making it up, go watch Toys. It's an amazing and ridiculous movie all at the same time.
Oh, yeah. It's really bad, but it's fun.
Also look up the teaser trailers for it, because remember in the movie theater it was just a green field, and all of a sudden Robin Williams walks out in a red jacket.
Yeah, there's a little bowler hat.
Tells you about the movie, and then he goes, okay, and then he walks off, and it became a big thing. Like The Simpsons even used it for a Mr. Burns movie. Remember, that's how he promoted his movie. Anyway, so drone shit, make of it what you will. There you go. The rest of this stuff, I think, really, we don't need to get to right now. No. iHeart had Jingle Ball last night. Madison Square Garden, the big Jingle Ball concert, which is essentially their major concert for the year. Tours around to like 8 of our markets. New York and LA are the biggest ones. This year they taped television in New York for it. So Jingle Ball is going to air Wednesday, December 18th on ABC Network and also on Hulu. If you can watch it there. The lineup for the New York show: Katy Perry, 21 Pilots, Tate McRae, which I've heard the name, I don't know anything about. And same thing with Teddy Swims. I know people love him, but I have not heard the stuff. Meghan Trainor, who apparently is also in the Doctor Who Christmas episode. The Kid Lario.
The Kid Leroy. It's an Australian guy. My kids
that's
were
a
into
typo on my thing. Sorry. It is Leroy. My bad. I like the Kid Lario better.
Kid Lario?
Yeah. The Kid
Lario
Leroy.
Lumigi.
What kind of artist is it?
He's kind of like a Justin Bieber type.
Okay.
So and he's collaborated with Justin Bieber.
Madison Beer, who I worked with several years ago at Jingle Ball. I was her their backstage escort, bringing her around to a bunch of different things. She was very nice.
You were her body man.
Benson Boone,
who I just heard a song of his last night. I picked up my kid, and we were doing this thing where I'd play a song on the way home, and then she'd get to choose. So we were going back and forth, and she did a Benson Boone. It wasn't bad. I've never heard anything from the guy.
All right. Gracie Abrams, who is on Saturday Night Live this week with Chris Rock. Tonight, we're doing the show. Yeah, she's the musical guest. Shabuzi, whose name I've heard for a long time. I still have not heard any of his stuff, but I like the
bar
name.
Song? I don't know.
And then apparently yet another Korean pop band they're trying to put out there, NCT Dream.
Sounds like, like when you go to like get pot at like a dispensary, that's like a name of something. I'm gonna get the NCT Dream, like 20 milligrams or something.
It's the brand and the flavor all in the label there.
Exactly.
NCT chocolate and cream, cookies and cream. NCT Rock and Roll.
Yeah, I have no idea who these people are.
Anyway, Wednesday, December 18th on ABC and Hulu. See, we don't entirely hate the company. All right. We are going to take a break. When we come back, television, movie, streaming stuff, all the stuff you need to know about, and maybe some holiday viewing. I don't know. I didn't look at the list. We'll see what it is. We'll be right back.
More. It's Erik Nagel. It's Erik Nagel. Next.
Jordan, if you're not aware, by our lovely set, the decor, how the world is just functioning right now, it's the holiday time. It's Christmas time.
It is.
So you need to give your lady the stud that she really wants. Hollywood agent Rob Stark. And if he's not available, which is highly unlikely because he's available for everything, she wants diamond stud earrings from Steven Singer. Now, I have to point this out. You're running out of time. There's only a few more days left that he can get this to you fast and free shipping for Christmas. So you got to act fast in order to get this. They're real, natural earth, born diamond stud earrings every Christmas season. It's the number one gift you could possibly get the loved one in your life, or even the loved one that's not in your life. Show up at somebody else's house and say, hey, Bill, look, I just had to get these diamond earrings for your wife. I had to let her know my intentions and my feelings for this. It's an awkward conversation afterward, but you got the right gift to get that all in motion.
Right.
I'm sure he doesn't want that in the ad, but Steven Singer's gorgeous, authentic, natural diamond studs start at just $298. They're 100% eye flawless, nearly colorless, and come with his famous full value lifetime trade-in, so you can use it to upgrade your diamond studs at any time in your life. You just go and throw them back on the counter. I'm like, make them bigger. And they go and they make them bigger. You adjust the cost, and there you go. No questions asked. Steven also has the best guarantee in the business with a full 100-day, no risk, no hassle, money-back guarantee. Again, don't wait right now. We are running out of time to get your diamonds or whatever you want to buy from Steven Singer before Christmas, go to IHateStevenSinger.com and click on the Diamond Stud Earrings collection. It's your last chance, like we were saying, for the fast and free shipping. Or you can go visit Steven Singer if you're in the lovely city of Philadelphia. You can go to Steven Singer Jewelers showroom on the other corner of 8th and Walnut in Philadelphia. I said Philadelphia. Why do I keep saying it? There's a lot of Philadelphia mentioned in this copy. I'll have to start Xing it out. Every pair comes with Steven's famous 14-karat gold safety silicone backs, keeping them safe and secure. So go buy real diamonds from a real jeweler that you can trust. Get those diamond stud earrings just in time for Christmas. Steven Singer Jewelers. That's IHateStevenSinger.com, and tell him thank you for supporting your friends at It's Erik Nagel.
It's Erik Nagel. Follow the show on all social medias at It's Erik Nagel for ways to watch or listen to the show, both live and on demand. Go to itseriknagel.com.
Jordan, you're a coffee man, aren't you not?
On occasion. I do like a good cup of coffee every now and then.
I haven't been a coffee fan, but this product alone has brought me to the light side, has shown me the errors of my ways. Now, look, you're out there, you're drinking that sad, terrible, watery coffee that tastes like it was brewed through a sock because, look, it was a paper towel. You ran out of coffee filters. You did what you had to do in the situation you were stuck in. You barely got out of bed, and it's time to upgrade your coffee to the good stuff with 22 Sierra Coffee Company. It's veteran-owned, family-run, and genuinely committed. 22 Sierra Coffee doesn't just make amazing coffee, they make a difference too by supporting veteran health and wellness across these United States. These guys are committed at making a difference. And let's be clear, this isn't the close your eyes and chug it down type of coffee. Look, they even got some holiday blends here for you to look at while I tell you about its rich, bold, and deliciously smooth flavors. There are many carefully crafted blends to choose from, like their dark roast aptly named Death from Above. This blend was created to honor the brave men and women of the airborne community, making it the perfect gift for any veteran, active duty service member, or coffee lover who appreciates the sacrifices and bravery of those who've served. What are the flavors we got up here? We have Death from Above and Going Dark.
Ooh, that one looks good.
Yeah.
Another dark roast.
Fantastic. Every bag of beans you buy supports nonprofits that help veterans in the community gain access to the help that they so desperately need. So every sip is a small salute to those who have served this country. And if you want to get that coffee that delivers and gives back, grab any bag, any combo, any of that cool stuff from 22 Sierra Coffee. Look, you can throw it right up there. Look at all the different versions they got. And listeners of this show of It's Erik Nagel can get 15% off their order by using promo code ERIK, E-R-I-K, at the checkout. That's Erik, spelt the right way with a K. And also go to 22sierracoffee.com. Use the promo code ERIK for 15% off and get yourself and your loved ones some great coffee for the holiday season.
Hey, this is Sal Volcano.
This is Brian Quinn.
And it's Murr, and you are listening to It's Erik Nagel.
Segment 2 of the show, Erik Jordan here with you, going over television, movie, streaming updates, all the things you need to know about in the entertainment industry and your viewing pleasures. We usually start this segment off by what we've been watching. Jordan, what have you been watching?
I've been catching up with Skeleton Crew, the new Star Wars show on Disney+. The third episode did drop this week. It's a cute show. It is very youth-centric. It's mainly made for kids. I would say, preteens and teens. But it's fun. It has like a very, like I said, the Goonies vibe, an Amblin Entertainment type property. So, it's a fun little show. I don't have any real complaints about it. It feels like a pirate story mixed with Star Wars. So it's not too bad.
I've been seeing online them saying Stranger Things, if Star Wars did Stranger Things or something like that.
Mainly only because there is a bunch of kids running around. Like, there's no, spooky stuff going on. When people say Stranger Things, my head immediately goes to, the more supernatural version of things, and this is really not that. Okay. So, maybe because of the kids, but yeah, it's not.
Flight of the Navigator joined Star Wars.
I mean, maybe, yeah. So because it's true, because these kids find a ship, and the ship takes them out of their area, and now they're on these adventures. Jude Law's in it. He plays a pirate named Crimson Jack. Like it's very piratey. It's very, it's pretty cool. So
I haven't watched any of it. I will say though, I've seen a lot of people who are Star Wars fans say online that this is one of, and there's people who don't care for it because it's too kiddie, but there's diehard Star Wars fans that were saying this has been better than anything else that they've put out in Star Wars. Like this,
it's good.
I saw comments saying that it's like this company didn't even make this. Like another company made a Star Wars property.
Again, it feels like very like Steven Spielberg's Amblin Entertainment, where you got the like I said, the Goonies, or maybe even like E.T. Like it feels like that, but made into a Star Wars property. It doesn't feel like a Lucasfilm thing. Like that's the weird thing about it, and that's the vibe I'm getting from it when I watch it. So I don't feel like it's overly Star Wars. I mean, they'll throw in Jedi, like they'll mention Jedi, they'll mention all this stuff, but it's got like creature effects, it's got robots, it's very piratey. There's a robot that has like a very pirate type accent, and he's always talking like, "Hey, Captain," and piratey. I think you would enjoy this for what it is. Like I don't think you're gonna find like, oh, this is terrible, this is bad. Some of the kids get annoying, but some of the kids are kind of cool. Like
kids are annoying. It's okay. You're allowed to say that.
Right. So
I'll watch the first episode and then I'll call up Jordan.
Look, I'm just up in a pirate costume.
Yeah, I know. I love that. I've been watching that. I caught up with the third episode of Creature Commandos, the DC property over on
I
Mac.
forgot to watch that. Yeah.
Yeah, so 3 episodes are out.
Is it worth it?
I think it's good.
Okay.
Like, third episode, the first 2 episodes are good, but the third episode really hooked me in. Like it really got to me, and I think it's a pretty good property. It still feels weird that they decided to launch this new DC universe with a cartoon, but it's fun. It's a fun cartoon. It's bloody. Like this third episode was really brutal. Like I was surprised. So that's that. I watched Red One with The Rock and Chris Evans.
I have that. I didn't want to tell you that, but I have it on my list to watch. I was like, I'm going to watch this and see how terrible this is.
It's streaming now on Amazon Prime. They did it's like they went from the theater straight to Amazon Prime. They skipped video on demand. They didn't try to make you pay $20. It is literally, if you have Amazon Prime, it's there to watch. It's free. It's there. It's boring as shit. Like it is so incredibly boring. The lines are cheesy. It's 2 hours and like 10 minutes long.
Sucks because I love.
There's no reason that should be that long. You should have cut 45 minutes out of that movie. It is. I watched it on my own. I don't want my kids to care to watch it. Like there's nothing fun about this movie.
All right, so skip Red One.
Check it out if you want to, but yeah, I watched it. And I finished it up last night, and I go, someone wrote this movie. Someone made this movie. Someone got paid to put this out there. Like there's parts where it's like, did we just save Christmas? I think we just saved Christmas. It's like,
it's secretly Zack Snyder.
Oh, yeah, probably.
At least the Zack Snyder Christmas movie.
Yeah, so I was not impressed. I'm glad I didn't go to the movie theater to see it. I don't know why they put this in the movie theater. Like it's just they set themselves up for failure doing so. They should have just released this streaming and probably would have got better reviews. So did not like that. And then you and I both watched this past Monday, they did Monday Night Football.
On ESPN.
They had it even streaming live on Disney Plus, ESPN, but they overlaid it with The Simpsons. So they did a digital overlay. All the characters were doing commentary, and they had different announcers than the regular Monday Night Football crew. I thought it was okay. Like it was kind of fun for a minute, but the fun kind of wore off, and I just didn't care.
I didn't even know that it started to wear thin because I saw about 20 minutes, and then I had the kid to get to bed, and I didn't catch the rest of it. But from what I saw, was okay when they brought the announcers in. They were terrible.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They were trying to be funny announcers while also doing every now and then it's like our correspondent Lisa Simpson. She'd come in and she came in and did her thing, and then they'd have Mo
it was all
talk about
scripted for them, but they told the announcers try to sound like you're doing it off the cuff, and they can't act.
No,
they can't wing it. Terrible. Yeah. So yeah, it was okay. They did this before with Toy Story, and I think they did this before. I think the other day, last week, I think it was Black Friday game, the Raiders Chiefs. They did
they did an overlay kind of the same way, but they made it look like they were playing Madden 25.
Right.
I never watched that one, but apparently they've been trying to do this motion capture thing and player tracking. I don't see the point of it. Like, if I'm going to go play video games, I'll go play video games. I know that maybe it's to get kids or the younger audiences into football, maybe learning football, because I know they did that with the
foosball.
Nickelodeon did it and the foosballs. But I just the technology still is just too janky for me to sit there and watch an entire football game like this.
Right.
Like, I popped in to see it, watched about, like you said, 20 minutes or so. Even then, it just felt like it worth it. So, but I mean, it was okay.
We get it.
And then what'd you end up watching? Yeah.
All right.
Just watch football.
I watched that, and then I watched another episode or two of The Pangolin on HBO Max, and I'm up to the point where spoilers, it's been too long. If you haven't seen it, that's your fault. Where she gassed the whole house and took out the entire Falcone family. So that's been fun. And now I'm on the episode where the federal agents are there trying to make heads or tails of all of this, and she's like, "Oh, really? I had no idea. I don't know." So I'll let you know where. I think I'm getting close. I think I'm on episode 5 or 6, somewhere in there. I will definitely let you know. So far, really good. I know everyone else loved it, and I can see why. It's good.
I think it's been nominated for some awards, so it's a good show.
Moving on, what's out right now for your viewing entertainment in theaters? Kraven the Hunter, the worst rated out of all the Marvel's 6%. Spider-Man movies that Sony makes. This one came out to reviews worse than Morbius
and Madam
Web. Yeah. So they got that going for them, which is nice.
10 to 12 million opening weekend. It's a bomb.
I'm telling you, it's going to get to the point where Disney's going to have to step in some way and said, we need to fix this. You're ruining it for everybody else.
You are kind of on the right track, and we have a story later on that we'll talk about.
We'll give you the your animated stuff for Spider-Man is killing it. Go ahead. Sure. We'll let you keep doing the video game stuff. That's fantastic too. We got to take the movies away from you. You can't do this. You've shown that you can't do this, and it's just this whole thing's going to go into the toilet if we keep letting you make movies. I don't care if you have the rights. We are Disney. We'll figure out a way to make this happen. We almost bought Star Wars, and I'm not Star Wars. We almost bought the DC universe, and we're going to trade that to you just to get Spider-Man back, because that's how terrible you are at all this. We were going to give you a whole new universe for you to fuck up, but alas, that didn't happen. So anyway, Kraven the Hunter is out in theaters right now, and I'm sure by Christmas Day it'll be available on some streaming platform because it made zero money. The Lord of the Rings, The War of...
I love when you try to pronounce this.
Roy Hiram?
Nope, not Roy Hiram. The War of the Rohirrim.
Roy Hiram. What is it? Rohirrim?
The Rohirrim.
Rosh Hashanah.
The Rosh Hashanah. It's the Jewish Lord of the Rings.
I was mixing the holiday with the nuclear bomb going off.
There you go.
Yeah, but it's the animated
Lord of the Rings,
movie, right?
War of the Rosh Hashanah. Yeah. It's the animated movie set, I believe, 130 years prior to the Lord of the Rings movies that we know and love. So,
all right, there's that. If that's something you need to go see on video on demand, Venom: The Last Dance is available. Not as terrible as I thought it was going to be. It was okay. It was enjoyable to watch. It's not amazing, but I do like Venom, so. A little bit biased. Heretic.
Yeah, it's like an A24 horror movie.
Okay, I'm trying to
think. 2 Mormon missionaries show up to Hugh Grant's house.
Okay, I want to see this one.
And I've heard really good things about this, so I am also going to check it out.
All right, so yeah, Heretic is one I want to watch. Elevation, what is that?
It's an Anthony Mackie movie where apparently these creatures have come out of the ground. Right. And can't go above 8,000 feet for some reason. So people have started to move up into higher elevations. His kid gets sick, so now he's got to go down to a hospital, and it's craziness ensues. It feels like a Quiet Place. It looks like that too, but I think it's going to be fun. I want to try it out.
If you're not getting enough of the schlock from the Hallmark Network, there's Best Christmas Pageant Ever.
Yep. I don't know much about this one. It came out maybe 2-3 weeks ago.
Nobody needs to it. tonight, because we were doing the show on an off night here, 8 p.m. Eastern on the NBC network.
I think about 2 more hours from now if you're watching.
Returning for the first time in forever, WWE Saturday Night Main Event.
That's pretty cool.
If you don't know what this is, that's fine. But it was revolutionary for television because WWF at the time in the 80s made a deal with NBC for the nights that Saturday Night Live is not going to be on. Let us, instead of showing a rerun, let us do a presentation of our superstars, and we'll do it for network television. Mm-hmm. And at that time, it was so amazing to watch because you didn't see the big superstars wrestle each other like you do now. They were wrestling no-name people, the jobbers as they were called. There was just like some guy who was wearing, red trunks and red boots, and he's like, here's Billy whatever from Tuscaloosa. And you're like, okay, and now here's the big boss man, and he's just going to torture this no-name for half an hour, handcuff him to the ring, and then beat him with a nightstick because, family-friendly entertainment.
Of course.
So Saturday Night Main Event was the chance to see Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant that was not WrestleMania. Like, you get to see them wrestle. You get to see Macho Man and this person, or the British Bulldogs versus the Islanders. Like, you were seeing the superstars come together and actually competing. And at that time, it was unheard of. But now they're bringing this back because all the wrestlers wrestle each other now. It's at the Nassau Coliseum where it first launched in the 80s. It's the original simple ring attire, so there's no Titantron, there's no big pyrotechnics, there's none of everything. They're coming out of the back behind a curtain, walking through the crowd to get to the ring. And there's rumors that Cody's coming out with the old winged eagle belt.
Oh, wow.
To fight with there, so it's going to look very 80s as they do it. The teaser trailer that they've been playing online and on NBC is, I forget who does the song, but he goes, "You're my obsession, you're my obsession," dun, 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 that 80s song. It's just it's all 80s thing, so it's going to be fucking fantastic. And who knows what legends they'll bring back for this.
And this is live.
There is one legend. Jesse Ventura's coming back.
Oh,
he's hosting the thing tonight.
He's leaving his Monterey compound.
Yeah,
and coming
so he's
up to
back
do this at the Nassau.
So watch that. Also on Peacock streaming, and if you're listening to this after it aired, go back on Peacock and watch it. It looks like it's going to be amazing. What else we have here out now for your viewing entertainment? Joker 2. If you're looking to see that dumpster fire, it's available on HBO Max. Over on Disney Plus, we have Dream Productions, which apparently is an offshoot from the Inside Out movies,
right?
Where the little girl goes to sleep, and now this other crew of internal beings takes over to produce dreams and all that. They explore that kind of thing, so that looks kind of cool if you got kids. Skeleton Crew episode 3 will be out over on Paramount Plus. Dexter Original Sin. It's Dexter not as a kid. It's Dexter interning at the Miami Police Department, learning.
But he's still like he's like a early 20s.
Yeah, and it's not Michael C. Hall. Just enough with the.
He's doing the narration though. Michael C. Hall's attached.
It doesn't matter. You shit the landing for the original series, and it just ruined anything to do with it.
Yeah, no, I think early reviews are saying this is just like they've stayed their welcome. Like they shouldn't have done this. It's over. It's only one episode out right now, so I think they're going to do the weekly bit like everything else. I'm sure it's not going to generate the buzz they think they're going to do.
It's not at all. So. And I saw all that stuff at Comic-Con. They had a big display and all that, and nobody was interested in it. Transformers 1, which you should be interested in if you were a Transformers really fan growing up, or if you like it now. It's an animated full-length movie. It's fantastic. It's better than any of the shit that Michael Bay put out.
Yeah, no Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, no nothing.
None of that bullshit.
So go check that one out. It's definitely worth your time. Now, this show I'm excited about because I've heard good things from some people already, and I'm going to watch it on Prime Video, Secret Level. It's a new episode every Tuesday, and what it is telling alternate stories from different video game worlds. So, like, there's a Mega Man story, there's a Donkey Kong story, there's a whole bunch of different shit in there where they just there's other characters that show up in this world, and there's another story that's told that's outside of the video game stories that we know, and pretty adult too. So.
Yeah, well, I think it's the same crew that did Love, Death, and Robots, which is a series that they did, I think, on Netflix. They ran for 3 seasons, which was really, really good. And it was like every episode was done by a different animation studio and an animation house. So it's the same crew doing Secret Level. It looks really cool. There's a Pac-Man one that I really, really want to watch. I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. I was going to watch it the other day and realized I really want to kind of focus on it, and that's why I started something else. So I'll be watching that as well.
Next week, stuff to look forward to. The 17th on Disney Plus. 2 holiday episode special exclusively for Disney Plus. It's not airing on television. Called Simpsons. Oh, come on, all ye faithful. So
I'm excited.
2-part episode, which will be interesting. In theaters next week, Mufasa, the Lion King. That's a live action movie, right?
It is.
It's about the telling of Mufasa and Scar before it got to where Lion King is.
Right.
Homestead, what is that?
I don't know. I think it's I'm trying to think of the actor's name. It's one of those guys that you would know if you saw him. It's just a low budget movie. They're just throwing whatever they can at the end of the year.
Right. Here it is. Homestead. During a rapid collapse of society, a rich man's mountain compound struggles between the military compulsions of its veteran operators and the rural value of its members' families.
Sounds
who's horrible. In this here? Oh, he's the guy from Legends. DC's
yeah, he played Damien Dark.
Neil McDonough.
Yeah, see, that's the guy. Like, you could say Neil McDonough, you wouldn't know him. When you look at him, you're like, oh, he's in everything.
Yeah.
He's literally a character actor that has been in everything you've ever watched. He played Dum Dum Dugan in the Captain America First Avenger movie. Yeah, he shows up, he's in a movie, he dips, and you never know. You would never know his name. So,
right. And then also Baby Girl.
Baby Girl and Sonic 3.
Is Sonic 3 next week?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, they're popping it all in before the end of the year.
Nicole Kidman, Antonio Banderas. I like him. They shouldn't have killed him off in the last Indiana Jones, but what do I know? Apparently not much. All right, so let's try to race through the news here. If you were one of those people that tried cutting the cord many, many years ago and went to YouTube television, well, guess what? They fucked you over again, as they have raised prices yet again for another additional $10 a month. They did this back in the end of last year, I think. Didn't they raise prices again to like 60 something?
Within the last year, well, they started off at 40 and then they raised it up to about 60, 65. And then, they've raised it up again. So within about a year and a half, they've almost doubled their price.
So this January goes up another $10. It's now $82.99 a month for YouTube television. It's basic plan. That's not including if you're spending for like Major League Baseball or sports packages. I know a lot of people who like European football and South American football that buy their sports packages because they're offered through there. So, and those are kind of costly too. The bullshit here from YouTube saying, we don't make these decisions lightly, and we realize that this has an impact on our members. We are committed to bringing you features that are changing the way we watch live TV, like unlimited DVR storage and multi-view, and supporting YouTube's breadth of content and vast on-demand library of movies and shows. Everyone said this is fucking bullshit. There is nobody online that's like, give it a chance, or I really like this service. There are people saying, I used to like this service, but I'm canceling now because this is ridiculous. It's not worth it. The price increase will take effect January 13th. And it also follows an $8 a month bump that happened in March of 2023. And the new price for YouTube TV matches that of Disney's Hulu Plus live TV package.
I don't pay that much for Disney.
No.
Like $82.99 would not be something that I would comfortably pay for unless it literally had everything.
Right.
I mean, you're encroaching on cable TV prices. Just get cable at this point again.
Jared the Geek in chat saying, I got an email from YouTube TV and I just canceled it. It's not worth it to me. Yeah, no. It's not worth it for anybody. HBO is ending its deal with Sesame Street and the Children's Television Workshop. The show is now shopping around for another partner. It's been there for
a few years now.
Right. Because Sesame Street has always kept a separate entity from the Muppets. Because at the time, the Children's Television Workshop was being funded by PBS. And Jim Henson really made it clear with his will and his company and everything that was to be remaining for PBS as a children's property and not to be commercialized by major corporations and stuff. It was going to be licensed and handled through Children's Television Workshop and PBS. Then PBS is just not getting the funding that they used to, and like, we can't afford to keep Sesame Street anymore. So Sesame Street had to go elsewhere, and looks like they're here's what was stupid. When it went over to HBO Max originally, I said, all right, I'll go take a look and see what they're doing, right? They had every episode from year one available. It's like, holy shit. I was trying to find, when Mr. Hooper died and when Louise and Maria got married and like all those things that I remembered from being a kid. Then all of a sudden they got rid of everything. It's like, what was the point of this? Whatever. But anyway, so their deal is coming to an end in 2027, and they're not looking to continue. So they're going to be shopping this around. Seems like a no-brainer for like Disney to pick up, right? Since they already
think so, since they are connected so much with the Muppets and stuff like that. It would make sense. Like, I don't know.
Like if they made the deal but kept it on like television, like through cable, to get on the Disney Channel, move it to there.
Well, that's always been the big thing. Like when they moved to Max, it felt like a disservice not only to the property but to the entirety of the reason why it was developed, to help kids, to educate kids, and be there for kids in a public, open setting to be able to talk to them about things that are going on in the world and life, and just to teach. And when you put it behind a paywall that no one is going to access, you've essentially removed that from the cultural lexicon. Like, so PBS was where it should have stayed. Like, it should have stayed there. So whoever gets this licensing deal, whether it be Disney or somebody else, if Disney has it, put it on ABC.
Right.
Stick it on ABC. Throw it on Saturday mornings. Throw it on whatever. You have to give the access back to people who can not have to pay for it. And if you want to pay for it, like say you put new episodes on, your terrestrial channels, and then the back catalog, throw on Disney Plus. The people will go to where they want to go, but at least give them the access to be able to watch it.
Right.
Growing up watching things like Electric Company, or there was another one that you had mentioned
today. Great Space Coaster.
Yeah, Great Space Coaster, or like a Sesame Street. Those were accessible to us.
321 Contact.
321 Contact. You can throw those on TV and you can watch them on normal terrestrial channels. And we are losing sight of that, putting them behind paywalls.
Yeah.
So I think that was the big disservice when Max took it over, and why I thought it was a terrible idea. So if someone's going to take this on, find a way to at least put some of it out terrestrially, to give those people who don't subscribe to those packages the ability to access it, and then give a good reason to come to your service. Because if like, hey, I'm a parent, I want to stick the kid in front of something educational, but I don't have Disney Plus, and I see that they have it available on TV, I'm more likely to subscribe to that, to give them that back catalog and relive some of those memories growing up and do those kinds of things. So I just, it's got to be that. It has to be.
Okay, moving on. Barbie movie sequel is in the works. The Hollywood Reporter has learned that a well-placed source, that Warner Brothers is exploring the early stages of making a sequel. It would make sense. Like, that's where you would make a sequel, because it was a newer movie and it made $1 billion. So why not do a sequel to that, instead of going back and saying, hey, we should make the 8th one of this franchise that didn't need to have an 8-part movie. But yeah, that makes sense if they're going to do a sequel to Barbie. Malcolm in the Middle is being revived for Disney Plus. The entire cast, everybody, is coming back for this show. Bryan Cranston, Frankie Muniz, Jane Kasmerick. She was married to the guy from West Wing. I can't think of his
Bradley
name.
Whitford?
Yes, thank you. So Disney Television has ordered 4 new episodes of the beloved sitcom. A premiere date has yet to be set. And the official line for the show, Malcolm and his daughter are drawn into the family's chaos when Hal and Lois demand his presence for their 40th wedding anniversary party. So I liked that show. It was on Fox.
I really did too.
It was really good. So
yeah, I did too. I've met Frankie Muniz a couple times. He was a big Coyotes fan. He would always be at the games. So like, you'd be getting something like a soda and he'd just be walking out with a buddy of his and be like, oh, hey. So he's big here in Arizona. I know he's racing cars lately. I thought for sure he would never revisit something like this. So when they made that announcement, the others like, okay, that's kind of cool. So we'll see how this works.
All right. So Marvel stuff for the rest of the show here. Let's actually wait before I didn't see this. Before I get to the Marvel stuff here. This is a DC add-on. They're making a Clayface movie. Uh-huh. Is it animated?
No.
Oh, they're doing live action?
Live action.
Oh.
I know it's not going to be the same Clayface, like being all weird with Alan Tudyk. I'm an actor.
The Clayface that we like is in the Harley Quinn animated series.
Oh, funny.
And he's kind of got the John Lovitz actor category into him because he'll split apart and he goes, why would you do that? Like he's so over the top. And
he's very over the top.
I'm like that kind of movie I would love to see. I don't want to see your serious Clayface movie.
Nope, this is going to be a serious Clayface movie.
But they announced that for a theatrical release with DC Studios, September 11th of 2026. Director has not been announced.
The script is being written by Mike Flanagan, who has done a lot of stuff for Netflix. He did that Midnight Mass movie show. What the hell? What the hell is going on with his
lightning?
That's weird. Anyway, he
Either
did
that or that's a fire alarm.
I know, right? There. What the hell, man? I buy this light on your recommendation and now I'm going to die.
All my stuff has been working fine.
Says the man who can never get his camera working before the show.
That's a cam link issue. That's never that. You're going to have people now having going into convulsive fits and strokes for all this stuff here.
For now. Anyway.
Here, unplug it and plug it back in.
I know. I got to
give you a second.
Yeah, go
do your thing. Clayface is he part of the Rogues Gallery with Batman, or is he just a villain that happened to show up in the stories?
No, he's been around since the 1940s.
But is he in the gallery officially, or?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, so Clayface is this guy. He's consisting of clay, thus the name, and has the ability to like shape shift and turn into different things. Batman villain. Yeah, he has been around since the 40s. Unless they make it sort of a horror movie, I don't know what they're going to do with this, but nonetheless, Clayface coming to theaters for DC. All right, moving on to Marvel. Chris Evans is returning to the MCU in Avengers Doomsday. More than 5 years after putting down the shield as Captain America in Avengers Endgame, Chris Evans is now reportedly set to make his official return to the MCU. According to Deadline, Evans will appear as an unspecified role in Avengers Doomsday, which is expected to hit theaters on May 1st of 2026. Speculation has been going around as people assuming he will return as the character Nomad, the alternate identity of Steve Rogers. I don't know Nomad, or at least I'm familiar with those stories.
Yeah, they were big in the 70s. It was like he stopped being Captain America and kind of just roamed the earth. Like he was like Kane from what was that show?
The Bible?
No, yeah, Cain and Abel. No, but like he would just roam the US and get into shenanigans. So that was his bit.
The drones have found Jordan. That's where all the
seriously,
lighting...
we should have talked about the drones. This is what happens. Kung Fu. Kung Fu. So,
all right.
See.
Great to see him come back.
He briefly made that version in it wasn't Endgame, it was the one prior to that, where remember when he had the beard and he had the darker suit and things like that. That was kind of Nomad. So that might just be who ends up
still have the powers or no?
Oh yeah, no, he's still Captain America. He's still Steve Rogers. He's just
no, but I mean,
Captain
is he
America.
with serum? With the serum? Okay.
Yeah. No, it's not like an alternate version of him. It's just that he's just done running around being Captain America, kind of disillusioned with the government and stuff like that, and just kind of roaming the countryside. So
okay. Haley Atwell is expected to reprise her agent as Agent Carter. Her role. Stupid.
She called her agent.
She called her agent and said, "I need to be another agent. Get me back in here."
Asian Carter.
Asian Carter, yes. With the rice hat and the eyes taped up.
Oh, man. It looked like
it's
the cherry
definitely
candy.
not a direction we saw coming, but
No.
So she's returning as Peggy Carter.
Correct. I guess what had happened was there was supposed to be a spin-off movie of her and Captain America. They were going to do that after the Endgame because, he went back to go return the Infinity Stones and went back and ended up with Peggy Carter. Right. And they were supposed to do another movie. It never happened. So I think they're kind of writing some of that backstory back into these movies. It was like a Russo brothers kind of trying to make good.
Right. Okay.
So we'll see.
She was beloved in the What If stories.
Was it Captain Carter?
Yep.
That should be good. That comes out, I think, this week too.
When asked, Ryan Reynolds, when asked whether Deadpool will pop up in Avengers Doomsday or Avengers Secret Wars, Reynolds explained that nothing has been firmed up, while also revealing how he feels about the prospect of Deadpool joining a team. He said, "I trust Kevin and Lou D'Esposito with my life. The character trait I love most about Deadpool is that he's a fanboy. His enthusiasm and longing to be part of a team is really endearing to me. It's his overarching... Is that right? It's his overarching wish fulfillment story, but I don't think he should be an Avenger or an X-Men. If he becomes either, we're at the end."
I mean, it makes sense. I think he'd be good just to pop into different universes.
I think,
like we said, he's like just the guy that sits there and fucks around and then leaves. Like, he doesn't need to be part of a team. They tried that with X-Force in Deadpool 2.
Well, he only did X-Force because he couldn't get part of the X-Men.
No, I know. And then that's the funny bit. Like, let that be the bit, and don't let him be, this guy has to be running around with, everybody else. I think it's fun just to have him pop in, be that comic relief, do his bit, and then pop into a different movie, be a part of X-Men, be a part of the Avengers movie, show up in like a Hulk movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just do that kind of stuff.
We already talked about Kraven tanking terribly.
Yes, but
it looks like it will be the final chapter for the Spider-Man universe.
Yep, this is it. This is officially going to end the villains Spider-Man universe that they thought they could do.
Yeah, remember they were going to do Sinister Six?
Oh yeah, they set that up with I think it was Amazing Spider-Man 2, where they were showing off all these suits that they were going to do, and you could see the Vulture's wings and all this stuff, and yeah, nothing happened. Like, collectively, it was the worst.
Yep.
And so they're going to end it, which is another linchpin on where I think you're right. Eventually, Sony's going to have to offshoot Spider-Man fully to the
because I know the agreement is that it's perpetually renewed as long as they're making stuff. But
yes, but there was something that happened that because they haven't gotten this fourth movie made, or at least in production technically, that deal may have been null. So they're working on that right now.
I was going to say there might be enough evidence to show that this is damaging the company
right
as a whole, not just their licensing for that. It's like you're causing problems over here. This might supersede the agreement because you're going out. The damages you're causing supersede that world you were allotted to. Right. So hopefully Disney gets it back, and then Spider-Man's not going to be a fucking problem anymore. Godzilla, who has fought numerous foes on the big screen in recent years, includes fellow classic monsters like King Kong. Now the kaiju will take on the Marvel superheroes with Godzilla versus Marvel. This is like series. This is like when I'm watching that guy who mods GTA and he has Godzilla come in and he just destroys everything. Yeah. A series of one-shots that will include Fantastic Four, Hulk, Spider-Man, X-Men, and Thor. Maybe that's why Thor is crying.
He's fighting Godzilla.
Because Godzilla killed everybody.
That would be funny.
This marks Marvel's first Godzilla crossover event in nearly 50 years. After the characters starred in the series Godzilla King of the Monsters, which ran from 77 to 79 and was in the mainline Marvel Comics universe. The 6 comics will take place over different time periods, with the first issue bowing in March. Godzilla and First Fantastic Four will center on Fantastic Four battling classic Godzilla antagonist King Ghidorah, who has been imbued with the power of cosmic whatever. I don't care about that.
As the new herald for Galactus.
Right, put the comic books out and then start oh my god, imagine Galactus shows up and fucking Godzilla's
with him.
Yeah. No, they got to fight each other. Like,
yeah, because the way you said it, you needed to continue your sentence because you ended it with fucking Godzilla, and frankly, I don't want to watch that movie.
All right, that's also a fair point. But you know how in the Indian Ocean in the current MCU, there's one celestial that's half sticking out of the ocean, right?
Which should be addressed soon. Hopefully.
Galactus shows up, whatever, trying to salvage anything from there, and all of a sudden in the ocean, Godzilla's head pops up, and he's big as a celestial.
That would be cool. That would be really cool.
Oh my God, Jared. Godzilla is the new Silver Surfer. That'd be hilarious just to see a giant lizard surfing through the cosmos, but also
the stuff that I took out is that they got into it a little bit deeper. Silver Surfer will be teaming up with Godzilla to fight Galactus and King Ghidorah. It's ridiculous, and it's the first time in a while I want to pick up a comic book and read something.
All right, we need to get out of here.
Yeah, we're out of here.
We got to go and do stuff and things. I'm going
to watch wrestling in an hour and a half.
Yes, we are. Saturday night's main event. Thank you all for listening. It's time to do the plugs. Jordan, tell people how to hear the show.
You can take a look at... Oh, you got none of my stuff up there. Hey, X, Instagram, Blue Sky, at Jinx Ronan, Twitch at Jinx Ronan79. I have been playing the new Indiana Jones game that just came out. I streamed the other night before my trip, so you got to see the first part of that game. Go out and check that out. It's actually really fun. So I'm going to stream that collectively as I go forward. If you want to subscribe to our show for free for a service you're already paying for, please go to Twitch, use your Amazon Prime benefits, and subscribe to the show. It helps us. It costs you nothing but time. And frankly, you know what? You owe us something. So get in there and do that.
I like how you're putting down the audience and making them feel bad during this financially strict holiday season that they're not spending enough supporting us. And you know what? By golly, he is right. If you're listening on the iHeartRadio app, thank you very much for doing so. If you're listening through Apple, Spotify, any of those lovely places, do us a kindness. Go over there and leave us a positive review. It does help out the program. You can also follow me and the program on Twitter, Instagram. It's Erik Nagel. Join us live each and every week as we do the programs in our live rooms on YouTube and on Instagram, all under It's Erik Nagel, and the videos. If you can't catch us live and you just go over there and you're going to watch any of the episodes, go there, hit a like, hit subscribe. It costs you nothing unless Jordan's turned on the subscription thing and I'm not aware of it. It costs you nothing. Access. And it all helps and supports the show. All right. We will be back next week. Our pal Justin Moriello will be here to talk about his new song that just came out with I Hate Kate and all that loveliness. So until the next time, everybody,
be excellent to each other.
We'll be seeing you.
It's Erik Nagel.
All right, that is enough! This is the night we celebrate peace and togetherness. I will not have that ruined.
Alas, we're out of time.
Follow It's Erik Nagel on social media platforms. For ways to watch and listen to the show, or join us for the live shows, head over to itseriknagel.com. Yo, and remember to tell 2 friends so they can tell 2 friends, and they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends, they can tell 2 friends. You get the idea.
Keep it real, homies.